Futures once again pointing to a lower start this morning for U.S. equities, coming off another pretty heavy sell-off yesterday, heading into the close. Once again, it is the NASDAQ leading to the downside, even though we have Apple higher this morning, coming off another pretty impressive report for Apple. We'll talk about that coming up, but overall, the Dow on track for its 9th negative session in 10, falling 0.3% on the week so far for the Dow. The S&P 500 down 1.62% so far this week, and the NASDAQ, the tech barometer, obviously 1.4% on track for its fifth straight negative week in a row. So pretty ugly numbers right across the board. This week has left both the S&P and the NASDAQ now in correction territory, 10.2% and 17.6% off the highs for the NASDAQ. As I mentioned, earnings pretty impressive from Apple right across the board. We'll talk about the numbers coming up here. Really the only bright spot, let's be honest, so far today. The S&P 500, 145 companies have reported 79.3%, topping analysts' expectations. That is slightly below where we were last quarter at this point. Robinhood, on the other hand, all-time lows for Robinhood, not looking good here as we head towards the open of Friday. It's Friday, January 28th, 2022. tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. More red to deal with today. It is 0.5 for the S&P right now, about 0.8. We did actually just have a spike to the upside there. There was a couple of numbers that just came out. We'll discuss that in a sec. But NASDAQ 0.34, TSX futures here in Toronto 0.72 to the downside. Brazil off already and open already in negative territory. A bit of a bounce for cryptocurrencies today. We'll see if it holds. 1.5% for Ethereum, 1% for Bitcoin. Crude oil 1.5% back to the upside as well. But here we go again. A bit of a trend. Good morning, guys. We've seen this over this entire week. This little bit of strength comes in at the open, met with some selling, and we go back to the downside. Although today looks a little bit different, but the S&P just retaking 4,300 as we speak here.
Yeah, welcome to Friday. Happy Friday. We'll see. But definitely, I guess the market liked the PCE numbers that just came out there. So
yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we just had it was looking so doom and gloom. Now it's only like 20 or 30 points on the ES, but hey, you know, almost back in the green. We'll take all the bumps we can get. Apple did their best by blowing things out of the water, but you keep in mind, Apple doesn't guide, right? So you know, it's not as if they could have given that extra oomph to the markets because they haven't been guiding since COVID. But there's a few names on the other end of the spectrum, and it's gonna get to like a million times, but like Robinhood, I'm not sure what they could have said, but what did come out for numbers was actually just really, really, really bad. The last thing they needed was to have poor growth when it comes to active users. It's going to be an ugly one, I think, for them. And Western Digital was actually pretty bad as well. So there's going to be a lot to look at here today. I mean, the number of names that are at key price levels or that just recently broke them yesterday, it's just every single day, there's just more of them, right? Like that AMD 100, which technically didn't break, even though it did in the pre-market. But there's so many out there. Lots for us to look at. There's a lot for us to boil down. Maybe that PC number is going to give us some kind of a bounce back day because it's been a rough week, but that remains to be seen. It's not a huge bounce in the markets yet, but we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, good, great. I mean, we were down 0.7 there and getting killed in the market. And I sat down and was like, oh my God, this is going to be the worst open that we've had. And it still might be that way. We still have an hour before we do open. But thank God for Apple up that 3% today. I mean, kind of saving the day here. I was saying that, like, who knows how far down we'd be if it was 3% the other way. Apple's huge into, like, every single ETF. Many indexes, so it's nice to see that them holding something up here. But yeah, Microsoft, I mean, we just put out the sticky note. Hope you guys can catch that. Microsoft was just, it's crazy because it was just down here, 296, 297. Now you're right back to that 299 level. So we're going to watch out for that low in Microsoft that was put in on earnings just a couple days ago. I was looking at these kind of, I mean, not that low, that's the pre-market low here, but some of these lows, 293, I think can come into play here today. So again, nice PCE number. It looks like it's 0.5. December PCE price index 0.5%. Looks like that's better than they thought, which is nice. So let's wait to see where we go. But I guess better consumer prices, better for the dollar, better for spending. So we'll see what happens here moving out. But maybe that's a little bit of a green shoot as opposed to what the inflation number is.
Yeah, it looks like it's the year-over-year number that was a little bit more important here. So 4.9% versus 4.8%. So this number measures the rate at which prices increase on a monthly and yearly basis. So they were expecting 4.8%, comes out 4.9%. So one of those cases where it wasn't more than expected. It was more than expected, but not a tremendous amount there. So in line with expectations, which seems to be a good point here for the market overall. Again, on the price you pay essentially for goods and services on things in the U.S. So there we go. We'll see how that plays out for the market. Before we go any further, Miss V is ready to go in the chat. Good morning.
Good morning, team. Happy Trading Friday to you all. I wish you a wonderful, profitable day. Please make sure you like this video, and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yep, lots to discuss here, guys, as we head towards the open on a Friday. It has been a very, very volatile week. Do we get more volatility heading into the weekend? Do we get a little bit of calm, maybe a little bit of a bounce back, a little bit of consolidation after, as I was mentioning at the beginning of the show there, big time negativity on a weekly basis now for both the NASDAQ and the S&P. Both the S&P and the NASDAQ in correction territory, 17.6% now for the NASDAQ, guys. So maybe due for a bounce overall.
I think everyone's been waiting for earnings to come through, and we've got a bunch of them, and Apple was about, I mean, I don't know what else you're going to get out of Apple that's going to make you feel any better about it, but like you said, like maybe, and the reasons why, I'm going to pull up the cues and go a little further back here, but maybe the reason why you think we can get a bounce is you've had like such a harsh capitulation, but we're kind of, we're in the midst of, it's a wide range, I suppose, this week, but we're in the midst of a little bit of somewhat of a consolidation on these earnings. And, at the end of the day, even in the biggest down moves, you go back to the end of time, but there's always these fantastic or bounces or good updates. We had one of those a few sessions ago, getting back into the green, bouncing off the lows. And as long as we can hold some of these lows, talk about the broad market here. There's individual names that we're not, it's not going to matter. Like we could level off here in the Qs today, not break the lows of the week, and then maybe catch a little bit of a bounce, and that that may or may not help some of your other depressed names. Like I'm talking about like your Robin Hoods and maybe some of those EV names as well. They might not participate as much in the bounce, but there's definitely a decent chance that we get some consolidation. It's not a bad start. Like that wasn't really a great number by any stretch of the imagination that we just got. But a little bit of a push to the upside gives me some hope. Although we've seen what usually happens, you find a top and then it reverses. I think you got to stick to the names as a short-term trader that are working for momentum. Trade what moves. Make sure that you don't fight too hard against the trend. And when it comes to buying the dips, like Apple's given you ample cause to remember why they are what they are, right? Like I had a friend of mine who was literally gushing, and I mean absolutely gushing over the fact that they have like it's like the mask ID unlock on the phone. And I was like, really? That's a big deal? And he's like, yeah, and it's the coolest thing ever. I'm like, and this is why you got to own Apple. It's that simple. But can they save the day today? I think we've got a little bit of hope there, but there's so many names that are teetering. Like, a few levels break here, some stops trigger. We're on that precipice. And it's also a Friday, of course, which sometimes leads to some sell-offs.
Yeah, I mean, just keep buying. I mean, you got to keep buying the quality names. And thing is, nobody's going to ever be able to call a bottom. So, I mean, it's not like we can say, oh my God, we just made a bottom, or we're about to make one today. We're going to make one on Monday or Tuesday, or who knows where the bottom is. But I think that if you just keep on buying, like Apple came out today, good report. I did sell some yesterday. We'll see where it goes today. But, looking at names like an AMD that's now down like, 40% from its 150 high or so, that's been beaten down pretty badly, and they're going to take out 100 today most likely. Square, that's been getting absolutely killed, right? And so I almost think that if you think that there is a bottom coming through, it's almost not a horrible idea to sell something like an Apple, because you know, if there is a bottom, how much are you going to get in Square? Like, if you think that maybe some of these names, these depressed names have bottomed, you know, like a Square, a Facebook. I mean, Facebook's not so depressed, but some of these other names here that we like, a PayPal, a Square, aka Block, something like a Netflix that we've seen, a Disney, things like that. The bounce back that's going to happen from 100, if we've seen the bottom, Square could easily get to 150. If this is the bottom, right? So that's a 50% return from here. You're not going to get 50% return in a name like a Microsoft or a name like an Apple, but you are going to get that consistent, you can sleep at night kind of feeling behind those names, right? And so I think you just sort of got to figure out where your risk is. Are you overweighted, which I am in big cap tech? Maybe now it's time to start to step in. You haven't heard me say buy any of these names in the last 2 to 3 months, right? Maybe now it is time to pick up, you know, a Clover to try to take a shot, a PaySafe to try to take a shot, a SoFi to try to take a shot, but do it with smaller shares. But this is the point. You can't call bottoms. We could come in on Monday. You could be up on a lot of these names 10, 15, 20%. Some of those EV names, we talked about Fisker yesterday, coming off of that $10 level, right? I mean, can this get back to 13? I mean, if you just think about it, like how crazy that is. We were just at 13, 3, 4, 5 days ago, we were at $13, right? So this was 30% higher 5 days ago, right? Apple's not going to get 30% higher even this year probably from these levels. So there are good opportunities to pick up some of these depressed names. So to answer your question, Brendan, I mean, is the bottom in? Are we going to have some rocky times forward? Yes. But at the same time, I don't know if we can ever call a bottom, but it may be time now, finally, after, you know, what's been a bad winter here for equities. Maybe it's time to start picking up some of this junk. I'm not going to do that yet, but you look at a name like Roblox, Fisker, even some of these Chinese, Neo, Alibaba, you know, some of these names could start to work from here.
Well, we'll keep an eye on this market right now. I mean, it's attempting to continue here back to the upside. I was just having a look at Visa as well, guys. We saw, by the way, that 4.9% number on that PCE reading on the yearly basis, the highest since 1983, which is crazy when you think about it. Here's Visa, another one that reported on the watch list this morning, but trying to lead things back to the upside. We had MasterCard, we had AXP recently, so Visa out. Aftermarket yesterday, 206 down here. We're up to 216, guys. Nice look for Visa.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. See, the thing about the underlying economy is, like, I think we all sort of agree that if you're looking out a few years, which is what the market's supposed to be doing, that we should be in a healthy spot here. And I'm just, oh my goodness, like back above 14,000. We're now 0.25% up on the NASDAQ, by the way. And just, I mean, barely green on the ES. So it's a pretty impressive run. And it's worth noting, like we were talking about names that didn't report well, and Western Digital, I mentioned Robinhood, but you know, Visa is in the win column for sure. Apple, like we said, already blew it out there as well. There were some decent earnings and maybe a little bit mixed from a name like a Caterpillar, and we'll get into that one because I don't think it's as simple. But there's definitely some strength overall in the market, right? So you've had now a couple of big winners. With AXP and Visa. The charts are going to be pretty much the same thing. And these are names that are still actually off of their highs, right? Like they got beaten up pretty bad as well. And then bounced off a little bit of support. But they're going to be, I think, a little bit safer to navigate into. I can't really say anything about Visa for the day trade because it doesn't do the volume. Like I'm looking at almost a $2 spread at times here on Visa. But that's the kind of thing where, you know, if you're thinking about places to put your money that might be a little bit upward momentum in some of these markets, then you got to be able to find something which is betting on the American consumer. Now, you know me, I'm in love with Pepsi and Procter & Gamble, but there's nothing wrong with a Visa and American Express who are also beating as well. Like always look for that relative strength. I mean, I hope everything is strong here today, and that'd be great if we do that. Visa's probably going to hit like 7 or 8% to the upside, but you know, like I don't know, like that number didn't feel like it was that crazy to me, but. If it brings us up, then fair enough. I just hope not to get blown out shorting a firm, but we'll see what happens here. Like I said, I like consumer durables and some of those companies like a Pepsi, but Visa, you can't go wrong with them either. Absolutely great quarter for them, and you know, approaching that 200 period, which is within spitting distance.
I mean, it was just a couple days ago before earnings, we said to buy American Express, and if you did that, you're long at 155, 156, 157, somewhere in there, and then today you're at 173. So yeah, it's not doldrums everywhere. I said, you know, I recommended American Express before earnings, so you know, it's easy to say now, like, oh, that was a good call, but you know, we did mention that, and there it was right there. So I like AXP better than Visa, better than MasterCard, and I've already said on the show numerous times why. You're above both the 50 and the 200 on AXP. I think this one works, and yeah, shout out to Chamath that said sell all you know, the payment processors and everything now, like an American Express, a MasterCard, and a Visa, and buy all DeFi, and he said that about a year ago. So congratulations, Chamath. Everyone's down now 90% on your advice.
Yeah, not only did he say sell them, he said short those payment processors, which is amazing. It's Friday. Michael Noss, CMT, joining us from Trade Ideas once again to discuss some. I mean, Michael, we were just talking about, you know, the type of market that you really have to focus on. What is strong? What is showing relative strength versus, you know, the weakness that we keep seeing coming back into this market on a daily basis? So we're going to continue the conversation here. Give us your take on how this week has gone.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting week. You guys caught me laughing because I really liked that Chamath comment. I thought that was hilarious. But it's been an interesting week for this series that I've been doing for the last little bit, where I've been talking about the importance of relative strength and going to where there is strength and going to where you can see buyers and avoiding the things that are just, you know, completely selling off. I'm of the opinion that when they're going to bounce, you're going to have plenty of time to get in, right? It's very rarely an absolute V bottom. So I'm kind of the guy where I want to see the second higher low if we're talking to revision to the mean stuff. But for me, I love relative strength, and this is what we've been talking about for the last, I think, 3 episodes. I'm going to wrap it all up this week, and then next week we'll get into some newer cool stuff. So we'll just, I guess, start at the chart of the SPY here. Just so you guys can get this in your head, right? This is, I want you to take a look at this when I start showing the other names. So in the first episode, I talked about how you could use an RSI to determine what's stronger over a long period of time by basically looking at what doesn't get oversold. And then in the second one, I talked about how moving averages could help with this as well. You know, talking about, I think it was AXP that was above its 50 and 200. You know, when those moving averages are pointing up and they're stacked on top of each other, we went over that as well. And then I just talked about how you can use just candlesticks to say, okay, what is holding when the entire market is selling? And today I'm going to kind of combine it all together because I've been working, and this is part of the reason for the series, I've been working for months now, and we have a relative strength algorithm in Trade Ideas that we're running that I've tested for the last 6 years, and it does very, very well at outperforming the market. And essentially what it's doing is just rolling into these relatively strong names. So during the pandemic, it was trading a lot of Zooms and Pelotons and Netflix and things like that, because as the market was crashing because of the pandemic, these things were relatively strong. And now it's trading a lot more of these boring oil, gas names, things that Neil were talking about, like Pepsi was in it this week. He talked about that. And General Mills is in it. And I'll show you that chart in a second here as well. So the way we did this is we took everything that I taught you for the last 3 weeks or so, and we ranked it. So I call it a weight of the evidence style of trading, or a weight of the evidence algo, where, you know, if say the RSI was like I talked about in week 1, apply 1 point to it. And then if the moving averages are stacked up and it's over them, give it another couple points, and so on and so forth, with different indicators and candlestick patterns and visual styles that we were talking about. And from there, we were able to go through and say, hey, show us just the top ranked names based off this algorithm. And, you know, constantly just keep spitting that out every few seconds. And at the end of every day, we can take a look and we can say, where is this strong? So the next chart here, EWZ, I talked about last week, in which, just to toot my own horn a little bit, I drew an arrow to last week when I was talking about it, just saying, hey, this is something that's outperforming the market. I'm seeing a lot of Brazilian names being relatively strong to the overall market. And you can see, even though these things aren't, you know, insane 20, 30, 100% returns, but being invested in these names, again, makes you sleep better and keeps you safe at night. as long as you constantly rotating into them. So what I've done is I've gathered kind of the top 5 names that I could find from this algorithm. If you're interested, right, you can come to Trade Ideas and learn more about that. But let's just get into those names, and you'll notice themes as it goes on. I'll talk about that as well. So the first one is LNG, which is just an energy stock. Again, I want you to keep the thought of what the Qs and the SPY have looked like over the past week, and then what this has done over the last week. So this is ranked very highly in the algorithm. For me, I'm looking at kind of 114. If it can get over that, I think we continue to be strong. Under that 114 is where we're going to be out. So energy, ARG or AR is I believe, a resource name. I don't think my notes are up to date here, but same kind of look, right? As the market's been selling for the last week or so, this one's been holding up and bouncing a little bit better. That $20 psychological number is probably going to be important on this one. This is more funny than anything else, but Twinkies is the next chart, TWNK, which, there's the whole thing. If the world ends, there'll still be Twinkies lying around, I guess. So maybe that's what's going on here, but ranked the absolute highest yesterday of all of the names out there when it came to our relative strength name, just because this thing is just, completely bucking the trend of the overall market. Next is ARCC, which is a finance name. We've got a little bit of resistance here at 22. So I'd want to see it get and close above that. But other than, you'll notice, again, the theme as it's going on is all of these are boring, right? They're all safe haven names as the market's getting more turmoil, a place that you can invest and hopefully make a little bit. And then when and if the kind of growth names turn and become strong again, right, the algorithm will kind of self-adjust from there. And lastly is GIS, General Mills, right? So you can have Twinkies, you can have cereal, and you can have oil, and that's about it right now. And that's, $70, give or take, is where I'm interested in that name. That's just the overall highs.
Everybody loves cereal. Great look. Once again, as always, Michael Noss, chartered market technician from Trade Ideas. That General Mills chart is impressive. When you, as you said, look at the overall market versus some of these individual charts, very, very obvious. We appreciate your input and time as always. We'll speak again next week.
Talk to you later. Have a good one.
Thanks again. Good look there, guys, from a number of those charts.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a good look on the chart of Twinkies there. Although I will say, as a gigantic pastry and treat lover, I'm not a huge Twinkie fan.
Well, Twinkies are awesome, no?
It's weird. I don't know what it is, man. They're okay. And look, you put one in front of me, I'm going to eat it.
I don't know the last time I had one, but I remember them being pretty sweet, man. You get that nice cream filling there.
Not
the
bad.
nice,
But
yeah, I don't know.
You know what's the...
There's the Joe Louis.
That's what I was going to say. The Joe Louis.
Joe Louis is a nice one. And then
Joe.
there's one that's caramel, has some sort of a caramel. It's like a half moon or
Oh, it's
something
too early
like that.
for us to be doing that.
I don't know what this is going on now.
I was going to say, like, from Twinkies to Indo, this one from yesterday, by the way, on the move. I know it just plunged like $1. So I actually was looking. I just paid for shorts before this happened because it was clustering in the afternoon about $7. It just flushed off of 7. If it tries to retrace, I want a short in front of 7. That is INDO. This was a multiple halt, low float stock. There's another one today, IMPP. But Indo already making some moves.
Yeah, someone said, yeah, there it is. Oh, caramel. Yeah, good one there. Steve Martin there. Good one. But yeah, deep fried Twinkies, deep fried pickles are also good. I did get rid of, someone said get rid of this creepy glove. Yeah, I don't know. So this is out of here. I don't know what the heck Randy put this here yesterday. Randy, enjoy your day off. Although now you've had 2 days off in a row. So that's good. And enjoy the weekend. And hopefully we'll see him on Monday. And of course, or I don't think he said he was here Monday. We are getting the construction done. So pretty soon, Trader Prad, Miss V will all be one big happy family on the big stage, and we're really, really excited for that. So if you see some, construction and whatnot in the background, I don't think it won't be happening today on the show, but that's what's all covered up. Last time we had dust everywhere and came back.
It was a mess that morning, but yeah.
Well, the thing is that although, we cover up our stations as well, for some reason the contractor, I think, took it all down for some reason. So I don't know. So hopefully we can clarify that. But should be a good weekend. We're really excited. Good football weekend as well. We'll talk more about that as the show goes on. You were just talking about Teradyne yesterday. Now it's on the other side. What the heck, Brendan?
Yeah, typical, I think, for a company that reports the day after, 2 days after, you always get the flip-flop from analysts. But here we go. Upgrades and downgrades. Apple, top of the list, obviously. Visa on here. ChargePoint as well is interesting. Sean, you were saying record high gas prices here in Toronto as of this morning. So some of these EV associated names should be interesting today. Amazon, Robinhood, Teradyne to the downside, and KR, guys.
Breaking 10.
Like we were just sort of saying, like Teradyne at one point was down. I didn't check to double check where it closed. I think it was closing close to 110. I don't know what happened right at the end of the day, but at one point it was down 28%. And Robinhood, for everything we're saying, I don't think is going to get. I mean, I'm probably going to short Robinhood a few times today, but I don't think it's going to get to 28%. But that was crazy yesterday.
Teradyne touched 103 yesterday.
Yeah, that was at bottom.
It's
at
not
100.
much better today, but
I just remember someone in the chat being like, Teradyne's at. And they said the number. I was like, huh? What are you talking about? And
don't you like this name at that level? I don't know anything about it, but you mentioned about it yesterday.
Well, okay, here's
in
the
the
thing.
chip space. I mean,
I hadn't read the report.
Bankrupt.
I just know, like, I know what it is they do, and I know it's like they literally service like everybody. Like it's just. So I was a little bit surprised because I knew the name, and look, I have like probably a few too many chip names that I have in my portfolio, and I like a lot of them. I don't know that I'd add it to the list, but I think the overall theme would be that there are some companies that are getting absolutely shellacked. I'm not saying this is go buy Teradyne right now. I'm just sort of saying there are companies that are getting shellacked. Their valuations sometimes they're a little bit pricey, but other times it's just like. The baby's getting thrown out with the bathwater, and there's going to be some opportunities to be had. Now, obviously, there's a prudent way to do that too, is you can just buy indexes at key levels as well, and you can buy ETFs. But there's going to be days where you look down, and you might find a stock in a down market at a really fantastic price on the daily chart, and you look over for the day trade or the swing, and there's just a great shot for you to take. And it was blind luck that I even noticed that it was off that 100. I think someone just even said something about it in the chat, and I looked at the daily and was like, what the heck, Teradyne? So I think we're going to see a lot of that. Some of it will be obvious, like AMD at 100, everyone's going to notice that, but there's going to be some other names out there too, which we'll get to some prices that are spicy. Like, think about this. I mean, Western Digital and Robinhood are down about, well, at one point they were down about the same. I think now Robinhood's taking the lead. But those are two different companies by a lot, one of which I think will be okay in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Robinhood is not good. I mean, Robinhood might be okay at these levels.
I'm being harsh.
But no. I mean, are you? I don't know. I mean, Robinhood, like I tweeted, it's down 80%. We were at $70, $80, $86 on some of those highs. I don't think any of us are caught long there. I'm not long at all on this name. And like I said, those of us that have invested in the SoFis of the world, the Robinhoods of the world, any of these, the Affirms of the world, it's just a disaster and it's a disgrace, to be honest with you. Upstart. I remember we had a lot of people on our chat that were loving Upstart. They were like Upstart fanboys and things like that. And I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. It was rocking and rolling. I mean, look at UPST. I mean, when are they going to report? I mean, how is this going to $50? Probably. And that I just said that random number there because I was thinking about Roblox 50, to be honest with you. But I mean, look at this. Like, people were like, oh, we got to buy these dips down here to 300. We got to buy these dips down to 240. We got to buy these levels right here, 120. It's $89 right now. So some of these names, like, basically giving back. And the funny thing is, it's not even like it's that bad yet. We're still back to where we were, like, in May. Like, I mean, you can still pick these names up. This is what I'm saying. If you believe that there is a rebound and there's going to be some economic, valuation here that says, hey, maybe these numbers are way too low. Maybe PEs don't matter anymore. Price to sales, price to book. Who knows what the next measurement's going to be? But some of these levels are just so super low. Like, Upstart is just cruising right here. This was $120 back on January 20th, guys. January 20th. It's the 28th right now. So, I mean, it's just like, these are epic, disastrous declines here that a lot of us are feeling, and it really sucks. And like, if you're not in, and someone said, thank God they're in Apple, and it's actually, they said Apple, AbbVie, and AXP, like 3 names that I'm in, but it's just like, yeah, thank God you're diversified, and you have to be diversified because, like Neil said, we like to be long chips. I have probably too many of those names as well in my account. Well, I actually just have SMH, NVIDIA, and AMD for chip size, but again, probably overweight in some of those spots. If you overweighted in, what they call this new finance, DeFi, new ways of lending, things like that. Look how disastrous Affirm is. Like, Affirm got the Amazon deal. That's fantastic, guys. Yeah, And how's that right now, right? So this is a stock picker's market, but not now. We got to wait a little bit longer. If you think this is the decline, just pick up some QQQs, pick up some SPYs, pick up an ETF that pays some kind of dividend. I don't think myself, Neil, Brendan, nobody will be able to call a bottom on some of these names. I'm thinking
Mr. Mark Haynes.
Yeah, the Mark Haynes bottom, but again, he was calling a lot of bottoms as well, but that was a great bottom to Mark Haynes, and obviously rest in peace to that legend from CNBC, but he did call the 666 bottom,
666.
and it was just funny because it was 666 on the S&P, right?
You know the weird thing about it is like I always call that number, and it's actually because of Mark Haynes. Every time the number comes up, if you're a trader and you were around that time, it just.
Yeah, they were on the floor, and it was a big, huge capitulation that morning, and it was like, oh my God, I feel like this is the bottom, is what he said. I think he was talking with Kramer or something on the floor.
If you feel like throwing up, maybe sometimes that indicates.
So I feel like throwing up right now. So, but the other point is that March, I think the next hike. So they didn't hike yet, but the next report, when they do give that hike, that could be the bottom, because as long as they just hike the 25 points kind of as expected, I feel like the market will kind of flush on that. And then, if I just do more stuff with my hands, then that will think I'm Italian. I mean, what do you want? Okay, it looks like we're getting ready for Arun over there, who will be in the building next week. So we're pretty excited for that.
Great.
Yeah, Mark, what is it? March 16th down, guys. That is the day we will get that interest rate hike from the Fed. Coming up next month. As mentioned, let's bring in Arun and get a take on what to expect here, Arun. They seem to like that PCE number this morning, which brought us back above that 4,300 level. What are you looking at today?
Well, okay, so I figured Apple would obviously move this market. It's a big component in all these indexes. And I really was hoping that we would come out on the sell side, because we've been stuck in a box. Apple, kind of given the weight it has, if you get a movement towards the negative or the downside of or the bottom end of that box and you get through it, you have the ability to now at least make some plays. If you're stuck in this range here, you kind of have to just play the edges, and you're at the mercy of the market, and the range is like a couple 100 points wide. So that was my expectation, but how the market played out, when rallied a little bit in the overnight, and then came through that 4290 area, which is what I was looking at. And then as we came through 4300, I'm trying to make sense of this number. Yeah, PCE is great, but personal income is lower. So I'm not sure what to make of this rally here, because I'm not sure how this would turn out positive. Anyways, I've got 4340 as a level. I'm looking for potential shorts here. If we can just get a fade, you have to respect the strength. Obviously, that's quite the move here, 40-point move right off the bottom there. So respect the strength. But I am looking to find a reason and a setup to go for the short with 4340. That's step one of the short. Step two of the short is going to be 4285. So it's like I remember a few days ago, I did a double leg short here, and that's kind of the same situation. If you get the first setup, use 40. If that one kind of breaks, you wait for another one in the 60s, the 55-60 area, in the 43.55, 43.60. And if you get a setup there, you go against 85. If you lose both of them at that point, you're right back into this range. And then you're at the mercy of this market again. We've been here for about 4 days now. I think this is day number 4 or 5. And the edges are wide, 45.50 up top, 4,200 down below. Everything in the middle is going to be intraday traded based on how the market wants to react. There may be some smaller levels like I'm giving you guys right now. Maybe we can work some trades there. But if we can get towards either one of those edges, north of 44.50 kind of gives you something. And then south of 42.50 gives you something else as well. So potential trades there. But for now, I'm just trying to find a reason to go for a short with 43.40 as a stop.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. Yeah, important levels to consider once again as we try to hold some of these levels, as he was saying. But yeah, we are looking a little bit like we want to go back to the downside here. Let's get into what else is moving around in the pre-market this morning, guys. If you need the watch list, that is the link. We send it out every single day. Miss V can help you out in the chat with the watch list if you would like it. Apple, the big one today, really, as I said, kind of the only bright spot here on an otherwise back and forth kind of day. Once again, really no negative on this report right across the board. Absolutely amazing report once again for the Apple machine, guys.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it
Billions
is. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's the war machine, I think, Apple, and you got to have that in your war chest for sure. I lightened up a little bit on that report about 15 to 20%. I think it was like 18% yesterday. We got some out about 159. Going to be a mistake, but again, I could just buy it back and not really lose that much money on this. But like I was saying, Apple right now, a beautiful report, up 3%. We're loving that. That's fantastic. It's great for the market. We knew that they were going to have monster sales. They already came out and said that the iPhone is the #1 selling phone in China. So we knew that. I mean, I think the only real surprise is the fact that supply chains was kind of a nothing moment for them, which is good. They didn't come out and say that supply chain is going to hurt anything for them in the future. They are obviously concerned about it. The holiday quarter was their best ever. How do you, I said you're impressed with Microsoft. I mean, I was impressed with Microsoft's 50 billion. These guys did 124 billion, 123.9 billion in sales. In a quarter, that's unbelievable. There's way more people paying $1,300 for a phone than I even thought. $124 billion in the quarter. So if you're not buying that company right now, then I'm not really sure what you're doing. Oh yeah, you're waiting. And I think that that's the only thing that you can do. You either want to buy Apple, and again, we don't want to, quote Kramer too much, but I did the opposite of what he said, and it was hold, don't trade. And basically just hold the line with Apple. It's, they have the biggest buyback on the street. They have the most cash out of any company out there. They can buy pretty much, I mean, at this point now, pretty much any other company in the market. So they are like their own country. Their ecosystem is an absolute monster. Their watch is pretty cool. That fall detection stuff I think is awesome. Neil talked about some face identification stuff that I don't even know about. I think it's because they use their eyes.
But I'm assuming that.
Yeah, I mean, my wife has the 13 Pro and absolutely loves it. It's super quick, it's super fast. Their ear pods, everything is working for Apple. And it's just, even those tags, which obviously have some issues with them because people are tagging and then tracking people. But, there are issues with some of the stuff, and that's going to come with technology. Apple TV is just going to, they didn't even talk about that really. And I think that's a big growth spot for them as well, although Netflix did talk about some issues. Look, Apple, I'm not even, I'm talking about this and not even going over levels. There really is no level. I mean, you're just going to watch the market fall out here. Obviously, if we take out some of these 166, 164 level, there's something, but I don't know, 162 bottom. I'm not going to go short or long this name. I'm just going to watch the market today.
There's one level we're not going to see it today. I think it's back to that 158. And we're not seeing that today. And if we do see it today, then I'll be sad that that's what the day turned into. But I think that'll be a buying opportunity for Apple. I'll second everything you said there. I mean, I'm at my barber's yesterday, and we're talking about, because he always asks about the markets because his daughter's gotten into trading, and he was like, yeah, it's all doom and gloom. I go, Apple killed it, so hopefully that'll bring the markets up, our markets up tomorrow. But who knows? I kind of thought maybe you'd get that same opportunity that's happened on every other big tech name where it did that flush and spike down, and then there'd be a chance for anyone out there to stink bit. But I think that's all you got is that big area of support, which is look at the consolidation just bouncing off of that price area, and it's a previous high from on the daily chart. It's just this previous high from September, right? And then that turned into support back in November. Ignore these dark pool wicks, and then you're right back into that every single time. It's been bouncing off there nicely. There's some chop around there, but like I said, I don't think it's that likely that we're going to see that 158 price. A heck of a lot would have to go wrong throughout the day.
All right, let's continue on. Hood, on the other hand, about as bad as Apple was good. So, I mean, we are kind of grinding here, guys, back to the upside for Robinhood. But, I mean, wider loss, lower accounts, activations, lower accounts being maintained at this point. As I said, not much to talk about on the good side here.
Yeah, for a company that they need a lot of things. They needed more people on the platform. They needed those people to be retained at a higher rate. They needed those people to be growing their account size, and they needed those people to be using more of their services. It's mostly options. Equity side is a bit of a disappointment for the trading, a disappointment in the crypto side as well. While you're seeing everyone out there in competition getting bigger for crypto trading, they're losing share. It's just everything going wrong. And then on top of that, you go down. I thought it was 10%, but you're obviously right. It was 8% was I guess the decline in active users or the miss in active users. It's ugly. And I'm not sure what was up with the aftermarket spike. But yeah, I mean, anybody that faded that aftermarket is absolutely laughing. I mean, every 50 cents, I'm probably going to take a shot at this thing, if not every 25 cents. And the first is going to be, I just look back to what happened when it caught the bounce. It caught a bounce and tried to get past 10.50. So I think that's like the first area to fade. And, you know, like $11. And just generally look for curls. Like I'm going to look for obvious price levels and curls because I just think there's going to be profit takers on bounces. Then sure, there's always the risk here that, you know, like we said, like Sean was saying in the beginning, like people look at some of these stocks that are heavily depressed and say, okay, you just take your shot down here. And there's always a possibility you get a bit of a capitulation bottom. But I mean, capitulation bottoms usually occur with like ridiculous, you know, big volume spikes, a lot of heavy trading. I know this is aftermarket after earnings, and really it's not. You know, I want to see a big volume event on Robinhood, kind of like what you're seeing around the IPO, and you get a day like that, and then maybe that'll be it in. So I think I'm going to be shorting pops on it today. It's done decent volume here in the market. I think it's probably going to do. It's probably going to do like 3 or 4 times as much volume as it normally does. So there should be a lot of opportunity, both even for scalping and then, you know, hopefully rounding into some bigger trades. But I can't think of too many excuses to go long.
Yeah, I'm already, so I just got in, so we'll hit the siren alert. We're already short right now, Robinhood. So we just took this play. And again, we're not going to, we've talked about this and how we trade in the pre-market. So this is just going to be a starter position. Again, it's on the sticky note here today. And again, guys, thank you. Yesterday, I think, was the best sticky note day of all time. But thank you again for retweeting and everything. We have Hood on here, an awful quarter. Stock now down 80%, wow, or more from the bottom. It should break lower. We'll short pops to 11. So that starts right now. And then we'll look at a pre-market break short here. So, I mean, it's just, we had to pay for shorts there. You know, you got to get your shortable shares in there. Make sure that your account has shortable shares for Robinhood. So you got to check the borrow rate on there for us. A couple pennies, pretty cheap. So we'll see where we go on Robinhood. But yeah, you got to pay for those, Neil. So get in there, do that if you haven't already. And then I'm going to be short into here as well, 1080. And the pre-market bottom break, you know, yesterday, I only put the chart out to 430, but you have a 980 area. You know, if we're going to talk about the pre-market, though, here today, the break is really going to be 10-ish. I mean, 10, 10, 10, something like that. I mean, you don't get a better level than 10. Remember, this is going to be, no, it's not SSR. Oh, it's going to be SSR once it opens.
Yeah.
But right now, it's not SSR. I thought maybe it was going to be SSR from yesterday, but it's not. So we're short Robinhood right now. We're getting ready to go here on the open. I don't like it. We have in there that their crypto revenue, I guess, was better than expected, but it was still down quarter off a quarter. So if they're not making any money trading crypto off of you guys, then obviously there's nothing here for Robinhood. Their average account, like I said, and I should see, I don't know, maybe they released it. I didn't go through the quarter, but their average account is like sub $500. And so I just don't see them making too many revenues off those. So we'll wait to see where it goes. But for me, the only relief rally could be, and Brendan's already confirmed this, it's about 5.6% on FinViz. We have about 4.5% on the Icon Refinitiv terminal. So I think there could be some short covering that does happen here off the open for this name, which is why we maybe get that spike to 1080 to 11, which is where I'm sitting. So let's see what happens. But right now we're short 37 and willing to hold this all the way back through 10. And then we'll see what happens when we get down there. So that's my target. I have a bid right now at 10.05.
Hey guys, I remind you to like this video. If you just joined us or simply forgot to like, now is the perfect time for a thumb up. We need just 300 more likes to get 1K before the opening bell. Take it away, Brendan.
Yeah, let's continue along. Lots to get through here, guys. We are, just over 15 minutes away from the open this morning. Let's go back to Tesla. Big move down yesterday, well discussed on this show. If you were with us in the afternoon, we had Danielle Shea from Simpler Trading giving us her take on this move back to, I mean, 810. It's hard to even believe. 800 just below us here. What do we do with Tesla today, guys?
Look, their valuation says everything, and we talked about this being like a 10% move, and someone just mentioned Robinhood is not, or we were just talking about Robinhood not being SSR. Well, guess what is? Tesla is short sell restricted because of what happened in yesterday's trade. It's at the 200 period moving average. Oh, well, okay, it was at the 200 period moving average, just bouncing off of 816, but that's where we're sitting. We came all the way back down here. We said you have a chance to get down to this price, and that's where we are. So 800 is well within sight. And if you remember, the last time this had consolidation that actually made some sense. You know, was around this below that 800 area when it resisted it before the breakout. And before that, I remember it was basing out. It had like the 650 area was pretty good. And so those are prices that are pretty realistic for it to settle down and trade at. So, you know, that's what I'm looking at for Tesla. I think what ended up working yesterday, sort of sticking to what might be sort of obvious. And you know, I look back at that 850 area here, and it's like I tried to reverse, I didn't get it. I was long in front of a couple of scalp trades, and then the reverse trade. You know, after the fact was okay, but the initial one I missed it. So 850 on the way back, and then 880 to 885. Like some of those levels we're looking at in the other direction, I'm just going to have in. If we get a rally on Tesla, I think there will be some profit takers. I mean, you know, certainly everyone can look at the same chart and see that momentum and maybe want to be at that exit when it breaks the 200 period on Tesla. It's something like this is where you separate the valuation and then the company, because I don't think there's anything wrong with Tesla as a company. They had absolutely ridiculous growth. They blew out, their earnings was quite impressive. It's just, again, it's really expensive. And that's getting crunched, and it is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. But 800 obviously is going to be a round number worth looking at, and from there 850, I should say, and then 880 to 885 in case there's some kind of a huge bounce back rally.
So we're already, guys, ringing the register on Robinhood as there it goes, man. It's a band of merry men is definitely taking this thing all the way to the downside here. We're 17 cents in the money. We already took out a third right there as we break through that 50 period, sitting there at 10.25, and now you're starting to go to the downside. So we've already got this short on. We just tweeted it out on the sticky note as well. So yeah, it's pretty exciting and interesting here for me on Robinhood right now as we continue to make a move to the downside. We are waiting for this 10.05. My bid's at 10.05, so let's see if that gets picked up, but already a nice little win here for Robinhood to the downside. You mentioned Daniel Shea coming on the show. I talked about it with her yesterday. I believe Tesla was like 860, 870 when she was on, and I was like, this is just a sell. And I said that as a shareholder that's not selling, but I mean, yesterday was about as clear as you could see what was going to happen with Tesla, man. I mean, this is another stock that's above its 200 period moving average, not for long. It's going to crack it right now to the downside. And there goes Robinhood as it continues down, as Robinhood cracking lower. Now down 23 pennies and starting to rock and roll here as Robinhood just gets lower and lower. But over back to Tesla. Look, I said yesterday you were just 950 a couple. I sold this at 1020, so that was good. And I sold out decent spot, a decent percentage of it. That was a while ago. It was in here when we first cracked the 50 period moving average. I had to hold, my tongue, and I wasn't. I was telling you I did it all the way back up to 1200. But right now, finally spitting down. I hate it because I do own Tesla shares, but at the same time, I think it's an opportunity to buy it back. My buyback zone's $400 to $500, which is sad because it's a ways away from here. But hey, who would have thought some of these names cracked as low as they did? If you own Tesla, man, it's a very, very dangerous spot. It's taking out its 200 period. That's never a good sign. We'll see what happens now as we just continue to move lower. But hey, the writing was on the wall yesterday. If you had listened, if I had listened to myself, I would have saved myself $50. But right now it's downside. And again, the worst thing you could sometimes do in these situations is panic. And I think that we talked about that with Danielle yesterday, and I think Neil mentioned that a little bit here as well. And that is that if you hold good names that you like, that you can foresee some, tailwinds in the future, and you like their business and you like the management team, maybe you're a fanboy of Elon or something like that, then you can hold on to this stock. The fanboy one's not a good reason, but as long as you see some catalysts here, buy these stocks. But the problem is there's a lot more pain coming for Tesla. There's no way I'd buy this name right now. So that's sort of it on there. We're just going to watch it fall. I'm going to rather trade Microsoft, names that I've been destroying if we have a chance. AMD, Microsoft. Tesla to me is dislocated right now. So let's wait to see. They had a monster quarter, man, and they fell 10% yesterday. So I don't know. Today another minus 1.3. This could get nasty and break 800 today.
Here's another reason you might want to consider what was just said. Miss Wood, ARK, stepping in over the past couple of days. 33,482 shares of Tesla, worth about $30 million. So, yeah, Kathy Wood buying the dip, as always, on Tesla. Let's go to this one. Western Digital. Not a good quarter for them overall. You can see the move down, obviously, aftermarket yesterday. But we're trying to hold some pretty key levels here, guys, for WDC.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was a horrible report. Oh my goodness, my daily chart's not loading for Okay, I'll go to the 15. So you can see the overnight what happened. It's crazy what happened to Western Digital bouncing or just breaking support and just absolutely flushing. But they talked about anybody that you mentioned supply chain as an issue and as a part of the reason why your guide is poor, and it's like you were going to get absolutely shellacked, and that's what happened with WDC here today.
Look at Robin
cracking down that 53. So look, I'm looking at $50 for the stock. It doesn't do any pre-market volume, by the way, so I don't know if it's going to be a great trading stock, but there is that 50 level if it tries to come back, and we've seen it. There's so many names that have the bad reported earnings, and then you just come in and they're short again in the morning despite the gap down instead of trying that dead cat bounce. So the first look would be off of 50, but there's no volume. And there's plenty of names that are doing tons of volume today, and this ain't one of them. But yeah, it's just you can't have supply chain problems. You can't if you say that and that's the reason for your guide, you're just getting destroyed in this market.
Oh man, now Hood, we just took it out now 10.07. So I mean, this stock just continues to get hit, and we're taking a little bit more out on this one. So yeah, it just keeps on going to the downside. We like Hood here for a short, and it just keeps on printing. So we just took some more out there. What a good trade to start the day, man. We are already on one here today. So wow, glad we hit that short. That's for sure. Robinhood going to take out 10. I'm not going to punch the 10 ticket right now. Ooh, 1,000 likes. I like that one. Yeah, there's Robbie.
What the heck?
So Rob just had his daily seizure there, and he dropped something. So I don't mind putting that on camera, Rob, if you want to do that impression later on. We can do that. But yeah, I mean, we got to have fun here, and that's what Rob's having. So we like that, man. Stay young forever. That's the best thing there. If you feel young and you have that much energy, that is absolutely fantastic. WDC, I talked about a bad quarter here. Giving back absolutely everything on my chart was working 2 seconds ago. Giving back everything. I want to short. I do have an offer waiting to go, and I just missed it, man. That's strange that I just missed this. I should have got it. It was 49.60. We only went up as high as 49.50, or else we would be short $1 in the money. We'll play any kind of pops here on WDC. I think the short back to 50 makes sense here. If you look at a daily chart, and this is what I was talking about in my note, it's given back everything it's made all year. So what a good run from $48 up to 78, where we topped out in June, and since then it's been kind of disastrous, except for this little note. I think we did, I don't know what this was all about, but Western Digital, Micron, Taiwan Semi all had a little bit of a bump there. So this does not bode well for the chip sector. You could see AMD hovering around that 100 mark as well. So WDC giving it all back right here. This is $48, which is what we're going to look at. That's right where we're at right now. It did tip low yesterday to 45 on that report. I wrote down maybe we smash, what did I say, 47 on the note. I said short 48. 47, so that was a 47? Yeah, 47's on the note here because we've got to wait to see some volume coming through. 47's the low, so if we could take that out, then I think we even go lower. But look at WDC, man, all the way back here into this cluster that we had last December. So that bottom is $48, and we're going to take that out, I think, on open. As here it goes, man, we're about to take out O's on Robinhood. You could short 10 if you want. I'm going to wait for some pops here. If you're not already short with me, then I feel like you might have missed that boat, but it doesn't mean that the short's not coming through, but there it is right there. We waited. We actually took that against us. You saw me in that position, in this position against me, so I hope a lot of you have this on board, but right now WDC continues to flush lower. Let's just wait to see on the imbalance here quickly, as we only have now 7 minutes to go, which is quite unbelievable. All right, so a little bit of a mixed board here. We have the NASDAQ coming out at 25, so you're not going to see any NASDAQ names on here. Bye-bye, Hood. We can watch this together. This is going to take out 10 and go to 980. But NEO right here on the sell side, this has been just a beat-down name. Let's see if this can hover around $20 today. That bottom yesterday, or actually, this morning, actually. This bottom of $20 was already hit today. That's an absolute disaster level here for NEO, as it's trying to find a base, man. But all of this is at 13. All of this is at 15. So it's just crazy that we're talking about that because, again, if you go back just 1 week ago, so like if you were just bearish at the beginning of this week, which was pretty obvious, I mean, a lot of us were nervous about it, right? Here I am buying stock. All you had to do was sell. This was $30 Monday. And now you're coming into 20 today. Like, what, Brendan? Like, some of these levels, man, are just absolutely insane. And there it is, man, the people's trader firing off cannons. We're ready to rock and roll here as Robinhood downside, man. It's a party. It's not case closed, but Robinhood downside right now as we break through 10. We already have that 4% return on this one trade right here, right now.
A couple of big giant names, Botman. I put Visa on the board there, but wanted to mention Caterpillar, big Dow component, obviously CAT. They were out here in the pre-market. Another one also down after earnings, guys. It was actually a decent quarter for them overall, but they also warned about some margin issues coming up for this next quarter. So 3.6% for Caterpillar, Visa as well. We mentioned there briefly, both worth a look today.
So I own Caterpillar, so like it's down 3%. I'm not actually very happy with the quarter. It's just, keep in mind, some stocks can be good companies, but they're still a little bit expensive. And it's for an industrial type name, it's a little bit expensive on the PE side. And that's why you want to see just a little bit better out of the quarter. Like you want it to be all roses. And I said, and this is me kicking myself, because the last time we talked about Caterpillar, I said if we broke out of this range here, I was going to try and take it out or take some profit on the way up to that high. It got another $5 or so, and I was offering about $235. I never got it out, and I should have gotten some out and trimmed at $210. Now I'm going to let it settle down after earnings for a couple of days, but there's no way I wouldn't be taking something off. It somehow took 190. It's just a little bit crazy. As far as looking at levels today, $200 is going to stand out like a sore thumb to me. But we're about $5 away from that on CAT. If we get a bounce back to previous, and I'll do this with a lot of names, the previous support levels that have been breached, like I'm looking at that 206, 207 area, and if there's selling up there in any kind of a curl, that support turning into resistance can be a bit of a sell. I did get into Indo. I took the 10 break for a scalp trade. I was able to get out some, but there was a buyer immediately at 96s, so I got the rest out flat. And I took that Indo from yesterday. Just remember, this is a super low floater. So I will have a tight stop here. I'm going to stop it about 6.5. And then if it comes back up to $7, that's the level I really, really like. But it already capitulated once, as we showed you. I think I want to say 2 million float. It could be 4 million. I don't think that even matters. Just understand that if it gets going, it can halt. So you want to make sure you have an out with this.
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching Hood. We'll check in on the inbound. Oh, the imbalances are out now. Quickly check here what's happening with NASDAQ. Ooh, well, we don't see Lucid on here too often. Lucid has a sell. So we'll look at that right now. What else is on the NASDAQ? PT, Genome here, GoCo. I don't even know what that is. FAMI, we know that. Your SNDL was just on here. But again, we're sub 100,000, 200,000 on these imbalances. So really a nothing burger here to go. So nothing on the imbalances, Brendan, but only 3 minutes.
A couple of smaller ones. Neil was talking about INDO. 1 million float on INDO. IMPP 3 million float. So a couple of low float stocks to watch today. Only thing I'm concerned about here is 2. We don't have locates on this one, just by the way. I'll keep checking if we do. Only thing I'm concerned about is 2, which is the bottom end of this consolidation on the daily chart. Above that, sky's the limit for IMPP. If it does break below 2 and start holding below it, that's when it could test lower, guys.
So one on our watch list also was Affirm, by the way. So we talk about it every single day, and today there's actually a catalyst, a partnership with Visa, and they're up 5%. So there's that, but there's also this, your daily chart, and then if you come right back into yesterday in the flush in the market, the massive flush at the open on a lot of names. This was the lower high right about 11 o'clock, and we came off the show at 54 that it tested. So I'm going to give this to that level and maybe breaking it by a little bit, like maybe 10, 15 pennies, just to give it a little bit of extra room. If it breaks out, this is shorting it, by the way. So if I can get the fill in front of 54, give it to about that quarter mark. And if it breaks that, I want to be waiting this out till about the 58 level. And that's where I would like to get in a second time. Like not 55, not 56. It should be curling at 58. And if it doesn't get there and rolls over, then I should be revisiting the short off at this same level, because it'd be a failed breakout at 54. If I'm doing something in the middle, then it means I think I'm doing it wrong. So I'm going to try not to be over trading it, but I do want to make sure that I'm in Affirm today. It's got the positive catalyst and a double bottom, so I want to have tight stops, and I don't want to be fighting it too hard, but I will take 2 shots to short the pop on Affirm.
Yeah, so happy here that looks like my main man's going to be allowed to get back to playing some hockey right now as our world's starting to open back up. We can finally go to restaurants and everything like that. We can finally eat and pay for our food in a restaurant right now. It's not right now. Starting restaurant? Monday in Ontario, we can go back to somewhat of a real life here in Ontario. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. But okay, Microsoft here, just some key levels again from from yesterday. We talked about with Softy yesterday. Hopefully I have my, it's not going to show my fills. Too bad. Or maybe it does. No. So we were just hitting this yesterday all at 298. We'll see if we can do the same thing today. However, the levels today are going to be a little bit lower into here, 296 or so. We'll start the bidding at 298. I believe I have something in there. No, I don't even. Maybe we will though, because we did have a nice little bump up here in the market. You can see the NASDAQ now at highs. So that is absolutely fantastic. We're super happy for that. We'll have to watch Apple here off the open. Apple, Microsoft, AMD at 100. Yeah. We have a bunch of stink bids out there right now, but I mean, we're way off now. I don't even have a bid on AMD. Okay, that's not bad actually. It's still near that hundy. So we'll take a shot on AMD near 100, but I feel like this one could fall through. So let's watch out for this one. But we're getting ready to rock. I'm not going to take an AMD long at 100. We might just punch the short on that one. All right, so let's get ready to go with only 15 seconds to go. It's Ms. V on the ones and twos.
Yes, she is. Let's drop the countdown. It's Friday. Ms. V's wearing the green. That CPE number has us in the green temporarily. Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it.
Yep. Okay, so Robinhood now open. It's a NASDAQ stock, so it's open without any problems there. WDC, we get that first short spot that we wanted. We're going to pay attention as it's now ripping through quick. 50, yeah, 51, 50, 51. Still going to the upside on WDC, so we got to find some levels that we think we can protect here, but we are short right now, Western Dig.
Yeah, that was very, very quick there. I did get into a firm here. Wanted to make sure I took a starter position on this because I just don't want to be missing out. But I'm in and out of Western Digital really, really quick there. And snap back at $10 on Robinhood. Like, so it went down a couple of pennies at the open and then snap back. It's at 10.10. I might start it at the quarters just to be absolutely sure that I get into it. But a firm, there's no way I'm not going to have it today. But I'll tell you this much, the market's starting to scream here and led by Apple breaking at 166. Yeah, so a firm's going down and Apple's going up. That makes some sense in the world here today.
Yeah,
if a firm's going down with the market doing this, it's a short all day, people.
Oh, yeah. Firms have been a short for a long time, guys. But right now, Hood's starting to go back up the upside. We'll average in right now to our Western Digital here and just see where it goes. Not a great quarter, but we do take advantage of that. We are short right now, 50.74. So no woman, no cry on this one. We'll just see where it goes. Bang for Western Digital. That's what I'm talking about, guys. All the way back to the downside. We have $1 now in the money on Western Digital. Tank, baby, tank. You have to be patient with this name. We know that. So let's wait to see now where it goes. I'm just going to focus on this for now because we have a decent amount of shares as we went 3 times short here.
Yeah, and all I got's a firm, and a firm is now down at 52, so it's already $1.50 in the money, and now I'm just holding. And I think we can get to $50 with the market doing this. Oh, no, Apple just turned around, guys. Apple just turned around, so it looks like if we're going downside, this is going to be a crazy flush. Yeah, we're about... Okay, like now another buck in the money. And Robinhood, by the way, if it retakes 10, I'm going to hit that 10 level one more time. And I intend on reloading in Apple.
Guys, $1.50 right now. Yeah, great trade there in a firm. $1.50 now in Western Digital as we just take another print on that name. Yes, sir, man. 49.78. We just took that bid out. So yeah, let's just hold this now. No worries on Western Dig. The market now cracking downside here. We are waiting. Ooh, I was gonna say we are waiting to see what happens with AMD, but that's a nice little bump here for AMD as that rocks and rolls here as the NASDAQ makes that puke move back down. So this might either be a short. Like I would normally short this thing right now, but it doesn't look like it wants to go down today, which is fantastic. We are buyers of AMD, but right now it is starting to go to the downside a little bit here. I don't know if you're watching NVIDIA.
I got a bid there. I was actually about to throw up another chip name there on one of my charts there because I hadn't looked at anything but AMD here today. I just got back into Robinhood when it tested back up to this 10.50 Freudian flip here. So I got some in the mid 30s. I'm looking to see if it can hold this 10 range, but it is absolutely exploding. So it's at like a 3, 4, 5 count. I'm going to take out half because I want to make sure that we're not going to get too stuck with it because $11 is coming pretty quickly here, guys. And I do want to dig in at 11 and then 11.15. I think a firm's going to be fine. I got wicked out of Indo, but Indo didn't really break out. So what I mean by that is, come on, where is Indo? It didn't really, I shouldn't have been out of this trade, but I had a stop order in at the open because I didn't want to get caught. So this is what happened to me. So I just jumped right back into it. There was no definitive break, so I should not be out of this trade. So I'm going to jump right back into this one. And why did I just get out of all of Robinhood? That didn't make any sense. I'll jump back into it. That must have been a keystroke.
I'm averaging into the short here on Robinhood, and just like we did on WDC, let's go to the downside now, Robinhood. It's a nice little bump up to the upside. We obviously were acknowledging that one, but we're now short at 1072. This is why when a push comes to shove, man, you kind of got to like take those hot dogs when you see them, because Robinhood did take out. That's why I was like, I'm not shorting 10. There was no way I was shorting 10 off that move. It didn't seem like it came in too much, and then it ripped upside. So that was too easy of a trade there to short 10, so we don't do that. We just be very, very patient. Like I said, man, I've become almost like a hitman here in the stock market as we're trying to wait and be very, very patient. Perfect example, look at this trade on WDC, man. A beautiful trade here. We'll wait to see where it goes now. And look at that. The hitman is back in the building, man. I mean, I don't know what nicknames we're going to have right now, but we like this as we go to the downside here. Another 30-cent win for us on Robinhood. So, we're just picking this apart. We're having some very specific names as the market's starting to go back down. We're waiting for AMD to crack. We've got WDC, Bitcoin falling right now as well. But my eye's looking everywhere. What is NEO doing?
By the way, we were back below 14,000 and now red on the NASDAQ. I'm trying to figure out, AMD didn't make the move down. I just took some profit out in front of 1040 because you have that previous pre-market high. And I want to hold the rest of Robinhood till about that 10 to a 10 quarter. But NVIDIA starting to crack. I mean, I was actually surprised that I wasn't already filled up on that AMD 100, because NVIDIA is getting towards those lows. But I've got a stop order already. I have my bid and I've got my stop. So even if it triggers in, I am covered. And by the way, Affirm, give me a break, right? This one, the chart looks in load. If it'll load, come on, why are you not loading? Thank you, chart. There it is. Just bounced off pre-market lows at 51.50, but I'm still going to hold it. I really don't have any reason to get out of this trade. If I have the top on a firm, then I want to be in this all day long and thinking about where I get more shares, not take less.
Okay, we're reloaded. So we'll do the diamond hands and then we'll do the reload as well, because right now, let's see how far Robinhood can go down. I mean, I don't know. Good one. We reloaded right there again at 67. Here comes right back up. And then we just took, you can see some multiple outs there here at 50. We just waited for 50s right there. Look what's happening right now to WDC, guys. $2 plus in the money as the market just continues to crank lower and lower. We're pretty happy with our hood position. Let's let that go. We do have a new position alert right now.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh my God.
New position for Microsoft. So what's up, Miss V? There she is.
Just leave it.
Yeah, there's multiple coffees going. There's a coffee discussion here as Neil already has one. Mine's from earlier, but I will take a reload. Thank you, Ms. V. I love the green. Thank you for the positive green notes there. And we'll see if there's some green shoots in this market as we arrange our coffee so we don't go flying everywhere.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's good.
But Indo reversed. Remember I said those low floaters? Yeah. I shorted it again. I'm now reversed into on a halt. So it's halted to the upside here. Now, again, the halt trade, you know the pattern. Get out half, hold the rest, that kind of a yada, yada, yada. But it should be open in 5 or 10 minutes. I will have my order to get some shares out on that reopen and then take the rest. We'll be managing. We can't seem to break 1050. There's an iceberg order on Robinhood. There we go. Once it's broken, I was about to say once it's broken, I'll start taking some more shares out. But halt on INDO. High of the day still in play at 740. That's definitely a big level. And then I mentioned AMD because we're going to the downside on NVIDIA. AMD actually holds at, I guess, 170 it looks like, so it doesn't get to that 100 mark before it finds a bit of a bounce. Somewhat relatively stronger, but not by a lot.
Yeah, we're going to put another bid out. We didn't have a bid down here. We should have had a bid down here. I wasn't even paying attention to WDC, but now it ripped right back up. This is what I mean. I talked about that yesterday, that we're becoming immune to these big, huge rips, because it's kind of 1 minute you're in the money $1, then the next minute you're out $1. It's, the movement on some of these stocks are absolutely nuts. So my bad on not being able to capture that bottom. We could get out right here for $1.70. I just think that if this market does continue to puke down, they didn't have a great quarter. And I think we can get this 49.60 for the half of what we have left, and then we'll work it out from there. Robinhood, we did not get that bid. I thought we had another bid down here. We did. Yeah, we did get it. We had a 52 bid, sorry. It only goes to 47. We're going to hold out hope for that one. And then just a new position that we have, Microsoft. Let's talk about this a little bit here, because I'm going to be averaging into this name. So Microsoft here, it doesn't go as low as we thought it would. We're waiting for that. Maybe I have a 20-period chart here. We're waiting for this 294 area that we've talked about in the pre-market. This bottom there was the earnings bottom of 293. So I thought we could get some love back in here. 294.50 is actually where I was waiting. We miss it by a little bit, but that's fine. It actually goes down to 295. 295.44, so it actually missed it by $1. So we'll see if it comes back in here. 294.50 or so is going to be the next reload. And look, the first spot is 296. We're very, very light on Microsoft. We wrote down this is where we like the trade. Back to this number, the low on the earnings day. So if it takes that out, that's going to be a problem. Obviously, we went down here in the pre-market and we popped up that day and traded high until we closed near the low that day. So 293, 294 here on Softy. And look, it's working. We're back in the money. We're really close to getting out on this name. Let's just put a bid and get out of WDC here half in case it doesn't touch our 60 level. What's up, Brad?
Right there, guys. Yeah, day lows for Tesla. Just got through that pre-market low. A lot of sell volume went off there. So 2% now for Tesla.
Well, I just got a reload on it. I tried to get even more off the top there. There was another spike in, we got to zoom in here. There was another spike up to $11 on Hood. I got some at 85s. I tried to get more there at 88s. I'm going to cancel that offer because I didn't. So shorting the pops continuously, but it keeps holding higher lows, and I can't ignore the fact that it's doing that. So I get a little bit more aggressive. When it gives, it's about 25 cents it looks like it goes, and then it kind of puts a bit of a reverse on. So going to note that. Be a little bit more aggressive in taking some of these shares out when it makes that kind of a move, and then go rinse and repeat. We're still waiting on the reopen in about 1 minute of INDO when it does open. There was that other small cap name, but we had no locates on that IMMP. So the only reason I'm not trading is I hate trading when I can only go one direction. That's why I'm focused on Indo.
Yeah, we're going to take a small bid here. If Apple takes out, oops, where's my 1 minute chart here? If Apple takes out this 50 period of 164 right here, 164.10 or so, we will go long on Apple. There's another win for us. We just take that out on Softy again. It comes all the way back to 297 there. We take it out. So that's going to be a 40-cent win there on Microsoft. And now it's 70 cents in the money on Microsoft. Microsoft's starting to get its wings here again. So yeah, man, the People's Trader is in the building right now. Good idea. They're trying to go some long on Softy. Let's see if that works. New position alert on Microsoft. But right now, guys, we're pretty happy with it. Let's spin it one more time as we get ready to rock and roll. Everyone's favorite graphic, I think, anyways. We'll hit the money thing here as we're $2 in the money on WDC and still trying to make new lows here on Western Digital. Microsoft now 50 cents in the money. Apple, new position alert. Let's see where we go on this name. If the NASDAQ fails, man, we're gone. We're not going to take this one. I'm not holding this past 163. So just to give you guys a little bit of an update there, 163 out on Apple. We will dig in one more spot there, but actually we won't even, man. If the NASDAQ, I was thinking that we were on the climb here. If we're not, then we don't want to be in Apple. We've talked about that. The last brick to fall here, Apple. And if it does, man, then watch out below on this MKT, the market.
That was nuts. So immediately, like Indo goes upside. I actually cancel my order to actually take it out. And then end up taking some on a breakout, which immediately gets stopped. Then it goes into a downhold. So Indo's just an absolute mess. I should have been reversing here, but I had to actually cover my trade. But once it rejected the halt price, like that's an entry, but I had to throw 2 orders, and then I'm chasing all the way down. But I did actually grab it short. So I am short off this level here at 645. And guess what just broke $11?
Yeah, I saw that.
Robinhood just broke 11. I'm in a third of size here because we did take some profit. If it doesn't hold 11, then I'm going to try and get some more, but that could be a last ditch because 1150 is the next level into the upside, but crazy price action on that name. It looks like, oh my God, AMD. Yeah.
What is AMD doing, by the way?
No, it's like it's barcoding off 10. So what I'm going to do
I'm waiting for that break.
I got to wait for it. I mean, it's not, you could go long here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait for 100. 100 was the level we wanted, but it's tempting to go long right here, right now. Hood is just about trying to take 11 again, and if it does, that's when I'm going to jump back in, and we might have to give it up. Like, it's given you multiple opportunities here in Robinhood to be able to take profit. I can go to Robinhood, and you guys can see it. I'm watching a level 2 here, but there's your almost like wick top, fail break, whatever you want to call it, and we'll see. If that's a fail breakout top, I want to make sure that I'm getting some more shares. I just missed 95s. Give me some at 92s, and if it retakes the high, then I'm out until 1150.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for that as well. If that does happen, we did take some out on that 11 break. I mean, I think you have to at some point, right? We can't just sit here and watch all of these names go back and forth against us. So we'll wait for Apple right now. That does tick a little bit low. I mean, again, I'm thinking the NASDAQ can get this going back to the upside. So we'll have another look here what Apple wants to do. But that's a name that we're a little bit concerned with. WDC, I mean, I'm not concerned with Microsoft. We've already taken out the 30 pennies. Now it's 30 pennies against us. So that's back and forth. We already know where we're planning waiting on that. I was looking at NEO at that 20 level. It might be gone by now. Yeah, there it is. So it just takes out the 20 now on NIO. And again, like, I don't want to buy anything into the trend that is like this nasty. So we're going to go short on this name, right? We got to find a name that right now, if we think the market's going to break lower, something has to be like near its highs. That's why I was talking about AMD. Remember when the market was tanking and AMD was like at 104 or 103, 102, 103 right here? And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Maybe AMD is going to the upside. Well, it came back down and corrected with that market move. So these are names that we're looking at. You can see I'm not like stepping into anything like crazy right now. A good trade could be this Tesla break of 8 bills. This could be a great trade. It's 806 right now. It sucks to see that this is going to probably break, but a break of 800 probably gets you, much, much lower there. So watch out for that. It's a
scalp trade. At the bare minimum, it's a scalp trade for me. I'm managing three things at once. The reopen on INDO is going to be in 3 minutes. I am short that. And I just got like another fail break at 11 even. My stop's at the high of the day now because my average price is 92s. Basically on Robinhood here. And if it goes 25 cents, every single time it's gone 25 cents, you had to be able to get out. So in those 70s, I think is going to be that first leg, which does make it sort of work. But this 800 means I might not want that AMD coming in at 100 even. It's too many things to manage. And 800 on Tesla, buying in front of AMD and 100, and doing Robinhood and the halts. I'm going to cancel the AMD order. Brendan?
TKLF. I saw a couple people talking about it. TKLF, guys, that IPO that was absolutely nuts. Another low float stock all the way back down below $3 here, trying to break, in fact, back to the upside. It's been a couple of quiet days for this, but lots of volume here off the open for this TKLF.
I'm never trading that. Like TKLF is
what happened to Apple here?
That stock is insane, completely insane.
Oh, I put the wrong price for Apple. Okay, Apple does break out there, so let's just get out. We don't want this trade. So there we go. We'll get out there for the dollar. We hit $1 on that one. It did break through 163. To me, that was enough there. It looks like it's going to be a mistake to get out, but hey, that was our plan of action, and so that's a dollar loss. But again, not big amount of shares. We have to wait for key levels, man. We're just trying to trade here. Part of what we're doing is trading, right? So we're trying to give you guys some plays that could work, but then at the same time giving you some downside levels as well, right? So here comes WDC. This was basically my best trade here today so far. Nice wins on that one. We did take a shot on Apple. That didn't work. I don't mind going back again, but look at the NASDAQ, man. It's still a puke city downside here. Ever since we broke the 50 period, the trend has never came back. There was a little bit of a bump back up there, but that's 14,000 right there. So as soon as we took that out, we kind of knew that there was going to be some kind of trouble ahead for that name. But there we go to the downside right now. Not looking pretty nice here for Apple, but we'll wait to see on that one. Microsoft, we're almost near that level. We're still holding, so it does look like we're long, but it is a small piece. Like I said, something that we're not even close to being concerned about. Robinhood went up. Neil, what did you do with that?
It stopped me, and then it's been another rejection. So like the last time we ditch in is going to be the one that might be that capitulation top. But guess what? Just reopened. So Tesla's at 800. I almost had to get out of that one. Indo reopened, so I had to go over and manage that trade. We had the halt trade. It immediately flushed. Because I was already in, I didn't really add to it on that pop-up. I'm looking for $6 on this. If it gets down to about 6, I think we're going to be okay holding it pretty much for the rest of the day. And if it does another pop in here up to like 650 or so, I might try taking that. I didn't even get the fill.
Neither did I. Yeah, Tesla just broke. I didn't get it, and I just canceled it. So I crossed down only 50 cents and didn't get it. So there goes Tesla right to the downside. We called that one, and I sucked for you guys. But I don't know if anybody else got that, but I crossed only 50 cents, which is embarrassing because there goes Tesla. And by the way, yesterday I said next stop on this one, I was going 850, 650, 750. That's the wrong order. 850, 750, 650 to the downside here for Tesla. And there it goes, man. I should have. This is stupid because if I just cross down $1, I have a $5 winner right now, which sucks for me to not have done that, but I didn't.
It's SSR, like that's the other thing. Like it's
it's SSR.
Yeah, like it's not. Yeah, it's not about how far you cross. Like when it's short sell restricted, it means you need an uptick to hit the bid,
correct,
right?
Yeah.
So it's not a guarantee that you're going to get the fill. You can hope because there's tons of liquidity.
I actually forgot it was SSR.
Tons of liquidity on a name. A lot of times you might be able to catch the fill, but that's a simple case of just bad luck. Square's close to that 100 mark as well, so there's a couple of names right at the precipice. I'm going to check back in on AMD just because that was the other one at 100. I canceled my order because Tesla was coming, and I wanted to take my shot at Tesla. If we load up here, yeah, so AMD's still still above that 100. So 100 still in play on AMD. Let's see what happens. I kind of want to go both ways on this, but sometimes that means you miss out on the short trade. But I'll see if I can use 2 different stop orders and get lucky. Miss V has a name for us.
Hey guys, we've got a super chat from Hayden Griffith. Lucid, bottom or bounce thoughts? Guys, can we take a look at Lucid?
The one day we don't short.
Right now, let's go money, because Robinhood right now, I took an average price up there at 11.15. So right now, we haven't really gotten blown out of anything yet on Robinhood, although we did take an aggressive bid the first time we broke 11, which seems to have been a mistake. But Robinhood holding up real well, man. At some point, though, that money train has to stop. So it's going to be 11.50. And if they take that out, then we'll go back there on that. So 11.50 out on Robinhood. We'll take that and watch to see where it goes from here. So that's going to be my spot to get out on that one. Everything making brand new 52-week lows, man. All of the weed names, 52-week lows. CGC getting cracked. We haven't talked about buying these in forever. Just giving it. I know a lot of us are smoking. Like I've already said, guys, smoke the paper that stock is on instead of holding it, because maybe at least you'll get some kind of a high out of that. Because right now, man, these stocks are just going right down to the downside. I said I don't want to protect that AMD 100 level, so I'm not going to do it. I actually would rather go short there than stand in front of this train to the downside here. So we're going to wait to see if that does resist it. It's been a good trade if you did do that. So if you took my advice, it's not been a good one, because normally I'm long by now on AMD. So
I took something in the 50s, but I haven't added to it yet.
Yeah, you're long 150 cents?
Yeah,
I didn't
take anything out when it gave me 80s, but it hasn't. I wanted the next fill to be a little tighter to $100 if I take it, so you have a better price. And I'm going to try.
So wait a minute, is your stop 100?
Yeah, but I also want to go short.
Oh, I
Remember,
see. So
and you know the issue. And you know the issue.
Just put out 2. That's all.
I know, but the last time I did that on Tesla, I didn't get the reversal. That was
Tesla's a monster. But okay, so good. So there you go. So again, 50 cents worth of risk, both sides, right? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I asked Neil where his out was, so you guys know as well. Because honestly, man, these things could crack, and if you're sitting there, standing there, and you don't have a plan of action, you're dead. And there goes Robinhood. Look at that, Phil. We just got to 86, man. We're cashing out on Robinhood. We're cashing on WDC. We're doing pretty good on Softy. And then we're just going to have to watch out for Hood here. And then we're waiting for AMD to see what it does at that 100 mark right now. Another resist down there at a bill. So, hey, man, if you've been taking that advice, it's been bad to not take the long. But right now, you're cashing out a little bit here as we go right back up to $101. So a good hold there for Neil. Let's see where we go. Palantir also down.
Got to go further.
Yeah, it does. Brendan's got some news.
IMPP halts, guys, to the upside. I can't hold a long, but I hope someone did on that. CVX just popping up here. A lot of things just catching a bid there. 130 up through 132 for Chevron. They reported pre-market as well, but starting to bounce, guys.
Yeah, it keeps getting to like 80 cents on AMD, and it just can't seem to go any further. I'm going to sit in front of like 90 because it makes sense 1-to-1. I still haven't added to it, but this feels like it's going to be relatively weak. I'm going to check back in the firm because the market's starting to bounce here. Why is it still AMD? There we go. I'm going to check back in the firm because we just bounced off 51s pretty heavily. I never got any reloads because it keeps testing towards like 52 quarter where we had our last out, and it just keeps on rejecting it. So, ultimately I'm looking for a better price, but at some point I need to just jump into this bad boy. Tesla made a big reversal just now. So I'm kind of thinking like 808. We're up at 808, and AMD is struggling to even get to 101. Like that's not a great sign. I mean, AMD, that's relative weakness altogether. You would have thought when we're making a bit of a bounce in the market, and I'm going to show you the NASDAQ, like we just got back off of those lows, and we can't even get to VWAP on AMD. So I'm going to double down on a firm short at some point, and I might have to give up the notion of even adding to this AMD if it's not going to give me any kind of a bounce when the market goes. Like Nvidia just popped $1.50, and AMD is now out of the money on me. I don't know what to make of that.
AMD's out of the money? AMD's okay, so let's see.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, AMD's back down. Yeah, because I was just looking at Tesla, and Tesla just broke back above one more time, back above 800. So there it goes. It makes that bottom of 792, and then it's like, no, thank you. It rejects. It doesn't reject anything, but it goes to the downside there, takes out 800, and just rips right back. So just as clean as that took 800 to the downside, it took it right back as well that way one more time. So there we go. New position alert right now. So let's see if we can get a chicken dinner winner out of Ford. So right now we'll go back into Ford here on the long side. It's just taking out the 50 period. It has a bottom of 19. We're going to respect that. If the futures continue to go back up to the upside, I like Ford. Ford's been beat down. I don't think it deserves to be down 2% in a NASDAQ that's down only 0.4 and into an ES that's only down 0.4. I don't think Ford needs to be down here. But again, you've seen, we had that super chat about Lucid and we didn't even talk about it. I will get to that, Valeria, in 1 second. I will talk about Lucid. We forgot about that. That's my bad. But here's Ford on the 20-minute chart. I still think we can get to this 1930 at least on the upside. But you've seen we've been down here before. I like this as a hold back down through 19, maybe even lower maybe. So if we can get some out up here, then we can hold for a little bit lower. But let's see what does happen here with Ford, man.
Here comes the, I did not add to AMD, like I said, relative weakness abound in that name. And let's see if I get the fill. Oh, I got the short. There we go. So I got out and was able to pull off the reversal. And I was gonna mention Lucid as well, but I'm glad you just talked about it, so I won't have to go over that. But AMD, it does break that 100. Thank goodness we didn't add. Relatively weak. Like Nvidia made a nice bounce and AMD went nowhere. So that 100 level gonna be gone. I actually want to see if I can just add a little bit there. And as far as levels go on AMD, my daily chart's kind of, give me a break. The daily chart's kind of messed up. There's not much to see here, but if you can try and make this out all the way back into, that's that 100 level. And there's not a heck of a lot until you get into the 80s on AMD. I apologize for that, Wick. I'll have to clean it up next time we look at the chart.
Is that the daily one?
Yeah.
I know the daily one sucks there on AMD. So, okay, so we are long Ford. We'll take some money if it goes back in there. I also did get that AMD short. I mean, it was a trade that we were waiting for. And there it is. Let's go, AMD. This is why your boy is in the building. We talk about this, man. We talked about shorting AMD, not taking that long on AMD. And here we go to the downside. AMD, how many times am I going to say that? Advanced Micro Devices starting to go to the downside right now. So that's my only trade today is that short. No idea if this is going to work, man. We got to give this some room. We'll see if it bleeds down a little bit further than that. But I do want to take some more out at 70. My best out there was 70. So there it comes, 60 again, just out right there, 65. AMD starting to go to the downside. WDC a $2 winner. And then Microsoft at some point, we got average into this one. It's coming up right now, 294.50 or so. We just must have missed that one. But Microsoft getting close to an average in spot as well. And down goes AMD. I still will look at Lucid. What's up, B. Wendon?
Another one catching a bit here, guys. X, U.S. Steel. Some of the resource names popping up. Day highs here for X on decent volume as well, up 6%.
Oh, man. Actually. And Nucor reported. I don't know if X did as well.
No, they didn't
US
report
Steel.
today. But we should get to Nucor. And I'm surprised we didn't actually talk about that, to be honest with you. But Robinhood consolidation off of that high. So we took it here, short, get it back down. Not quite to VWAP, but like to 1050. Tried again here in the mid-80s. We were able to get some at 60s. And then the last one when we loaded up in front of 11 because we liked it, that stopped us out. But now you have another consolidation here. So I'm going to go back to another setup that we like, which is wick high, consolidation lower. It's a defined trade that I definitely like. I'm out of most of the AMD, but 99.50 in front of 99.50. But if you're looking what's going on in NVIDIA as well, like it's not just AMD. I want to show you NVIDIA breaking through its pre-market lows here and kind of 215. It's not split adjusted. So this is what's going on. This is headed towards the Monday bottom. That was like 208. So NVIDIA's got a lot of room from this break to those Monday lows down around at like 20. Sorry, I said 206. I meant 208. Maybe I said 208 the first time. But AMD, NVIDIA both tanking, but NVIDIA's got real room to that Monday level.
We're going to give AMD a little bit of room here as we're watching Apple right now. And it's funny because Apple's holding up, right? The NASDAQ fallen, even went red. Apple's still holding up. It's funny because the long that I had when the market was way better than this is now in the money, but we already got taken out of it. So that kind of sucks. But excuse me, just watching that. Let's go back over to AMD here. And we already cashed out some there. And we do want to reload it with the idea that, a 101 break back up to the upside will get us out of that, and that'll be a trend change if that does go back up to the upside. So we will get out of that, and we are averaging more in. So let me just make sure I have the math right so we do get out of everything if it does take out 101. So we're just going to try to get this back in here again. There's the 50 period. There's the VWAP is right at 101. So Neil and I both use VWAP there, and I think for me, it's a good indicator, like I said, about a trend change. So if it could take out 101, then yeah, we'll get out of that one. But I don't mind averaging into this this clump here, you know, $100.40, $100.50, something like that. We will try to average in on that one. Robinhood, man, yes, sir. Good hold there on Hoodie. We'll see if that wants to come even further to the downside there. AMD, I don't know if I want to get into Microsoft. I mean, we're very, very close. Maybe we'll take another bid here as it's not going down to that 294 and change. So maybe we just take a bid now because, hey, I've already got this trade. We're still waiting for I'm waiting for 294.55, believe it or not. That's exactly where I am. The bottom of the day is 59. So we'll adjust that a little bit, put that a little bit higher because it seems like it's just missing us. Oops, I just canceled something. Oh, that was Robinhood just tanking down to the downside there. Ford also starting to go down. So there's a loss for us. We'll flush ourselves down the toilet for sure on Ford. We thought that could get going. It does not. So we take a L on Ford. But I think we just cashed out good on Hood. No, sorry, that was the Ford fill. But it's Hood now taking out these levels. So the indicator right now, we have a nice win on Robinhood. Now 20 cents in the money on this short. So let's see if this falls with the rest of the market.
It's been popping after every 25-cent move. So I'm getting more between 75 and 80. Just makes some sense off that 11 consolidation. Now, we talked yesterday about the gap fill on Lucid. It's worth noting if you look at the few days, and the gap fill was from 33 all the way down to 28.50 or so. But if you look at the few days when it was in that cluster, you had a bottom which is already broken, and that's that 26 level, which was this resistance here. Like that same leg lower is to $24. So I mean, like 26, like I just said, was the top end of that range in the daily, and then $24 eek. Is the next one down here on Lucid. So if Lucid takes out the bottom, I think it's got some room to run. That's a heck of a move down to have already been missed. Like I'm sitting here and it's like, oh my goodness, I can never have both Affirm and Lucid on the same day. It just sort of seems. Affirm still can't seem to get up to that 52 level. I might just grab some here at like 51.80 or something like that and just say, okay, I have to pay down to this and I'll take multiple shots. If I get like a stop out at 52.50, then I'm just going to load up at the high of the day there on Affirm. I think the catalyst gave you an opportunity to short it off a really good level, so we took our shot and went ahead and did it. Just coming back over to Tesla, I haven't really traded Tesla today. That 800 break, it gave you $8, but it snapped back, and is consolidating higher. I mean, sometimes that gets you going, but I'm looking at what's happening with the market, and I think it's going to need the help of the market for that to actually be effective. So you're not going to. Sometimes I would take that trade. It's like the reverse of a parabolic move up and reversing it, but not with the market against it. I'm going to hang with it. You know, we took Hood, man. So, yeah, I mean, Robinhood's now back to 1060, but I had to take some pain on the way up there. So I've got 3 shorts on. I feel pretty good about them. Nvidia just took the lows again, or is attempting to take the lows again, and AMD is just did the same.
Yeah, AMD, a nice. Let's go AMD, man. Money coming in right now. We're spinning it out pretty damn good as well. Unfortunately, though, the market does make a move back to the upside there, and we had to get out of our WDC. We should have got out down here. We realized that, but there it does take out 50, and we get out just again worried about it getting back up to the upside there, taking out that VWAP. Probably should have held it. There's no doubt about that, but a good trade for us for WDC. My number 1 stock here. Hood dependent on. I mean, we're killing Hood right now. We just took another 60 bid. I mean, this has been a definite money maker for us here today. Microsoft is really the only concern. Look at this one, guys. This is why I say, man, be patient with your AMD. We knew it was going to break that 100, man. We waited for it. And like I said, we have changed our ways, man. We have changed our ways. We're now trying to snipe this market, and you have to adjust. You have to adjust. Normally, I'd be scalping these out for like 15 cents. I'd be like, oh my God, I got 15 cents. But I talked about this with Greg yesterday and Brad, and that is that, you know, this market has changed. You now have to be that sniper, man. You have to wait for key levels to break and then hold, because if you're right, you can get paid off. And today, that's exactly what's happening, catapulting some of these trades through the roof. But hey,
I'm scalping the crap out of Robinhood after the way it's been trading.
Yeah, so there you go. So 2 different strategies, right? One scalp, 1 hold, and we're going to see what happens right now. Robinhood, 50 cents in the money. What up, Bren?
Hey guys, quick check of the markets here brought to you by BitGet. Happening now this week. S&P 500, 0.75 to the downside, the Dow full percent. We had consumer sentiment out there that was a little bit lower than expected. to be expected, but seemed to push the market back downside a little bit. The Dow a full percent, the Russell all about 0.75 as well. The NASDAQ 0.83 here in Toronto. We're about 0.5% for the TSX, back in negative territory. Here we go. A couple things we were talking about in the pre-market there. We did get above that after-market high on Visa, 6%. Decent move off of the open, but another one that's coming back in already. Yeah, I wanted to mention a firm here because we did have it on the watch list this morning. This area interesting so far, acting as support. 51 trying to hold, but volume not great for a firm, guys. Go check out BitGet, the top crypto copy trading platform. Use a QR code below, guys. You'll get $158 in rewards from BitGet.
One name we forgot, well, we didn't forget about it. We talked about it very briefly, and that was Caterpillar. I said it was a bit disappointing, and it's got to be all roses. They're not the cheapest industrial name out there, and it just bounced off of 201, so 200 did come into play here pretty quickly on Caterpillar. You can see there's nothing on the daily chart. There's really no support levels until you get right down into the mid-90s or so. So when that 200 breaks, some room. It's a double bottom for now, and looking at where the market's sort of bouncing out here, like this is one where, you know, I like that 200 level. We're going to get a shot at 201 here, at least it looks like. So I'm going to stick in front of 202. This is the name I wanted to dip by here a little bit. Like it's not some super high valued like a growth name, but it is leaning that way. I think that's why in its own sector it is. That's why it's down to 5%. But I'm going to try and defend it off of 201. Now that you have a double bottom, you have the 200 for cover. But if that level breaks, like I said, there isn't a heck of a lot below it. So got to have a hard stop if we take out the lows on Caterpillar.
I already know that I'm a super lucky man, but I want to give a big shout out to my wife. What's up, Marissa? Thank you for all your nice comments there. She's like telling me, great job, keep killing it, blah, 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 like that on the show. So thank you so much. I mean, that's great when you're able to get that kind of support. And, you know, she watches the show, which is absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much to my wife for that love. And obviously, we'll have a big weekend and it should be lots of fun. So, all right, Microsoft back into the money right now. So yes, sir. We'll see if it can moon from here. I don't know. We did take that bid down here. We're going to try to get something out as the market is kind of getting back. I think the market might go here. I'm going to cancel this. Let's see how much we can get here on Softy. How about right back to VWAP, 296.70 here on Microsoft. See if we can't make another dollar here. All we're trying to do is stack the cash today. It's been a good day, so let's wait to see what happens here. Up to 296.50. Let's put an offer there. If we get filled, we get filled on that one. Robinhood, we just took another piece for another 50 cents, so let's just keep on watching that as well. But the market does seem like it wants to head back higher, so we'll take a piece out. Is that Brendan again?
Former big-time runner here, Arena Pharmaceuticals, which is AUPH on the NASDAQ, just popped up there on a huge volume spike. There's rumors floating around, guys, that Biogen might be interested in this name, guys. Heads up on AUPH.
Ooh, I know. I recognize that name. So I got filled. I got long first leg 202 in front of that 201 on Caterpillar. I'll take a few more in front of 201 to get the average price that I want. And then remember, not letting that one break the low. I also reloaded on a firm, which is on the New York. I'm just talking to myself because I typed in NASDAQ, obviously. Typed in New York. It just turned around. So it finally actually gets to the price that I was waiting for all morning, which is at 52.25. I did grab some at 51.8, then waited for the rollover, which just happened there. So now I'm going to add back into this. And the only thing, like I said, the only thing I got the long on is CAT, and that's off of that key level. I'm still favoring the shorts, but just keep in mind, we're at the lows of the day. So, I mean, shorts, stinky stuff at that price range, and I just tightened my stop on AMD as well, just in case that makes a harsh reversal. I never want to get trapped at the absolute bottoms. I think bottoms, that can be a little bit dangerous. And I am still looking at Tesla. It's now bouncing back into VWAP, and this is the thing. I didn't think we made a great bottom in there, and the market was trying to struggle at the bottom, but Tesla, that's kind of a capitulation low on volume. There's a decent chance that if it holds 800 a second time, we could be running a little bit. So I might be looking for a Tesla long if we get back down to 800, and we're holding some of these key levels on the overall futures. But as I say that, we start ticking a little bit lower almost immediately.
Yeah, that's funny because right now, ticking lower, on Tesla. Okay, yeah, and the market's starting. I don't know what the market's going to do, but there it is again, man. We'll take another profit spot there on Softy. Good name for us so far here today as it's working out quite nicely now for Microsoft as we are now $1.40 in the money, and we just took a piece out right there. I didn't want to wait for VWAP. That's a nice bump up. I should have waited. I mean, we're only now 20 pennies away from getting that, but we took it out at 296.10. It's just, we bounced off there a couple times for Softy. We've absolutely destroyed this stock in there, out there. So let's see where we go now with Microsoft. But at the same time, I mean, this is just going to be one of those trades where we might just have to wait for it to happen. Apple continues its march higher, man. I mean, what a great stock this is. The market's down today, and Apple is just like, see ya to the upside. This is funny that this happened. Like the only real time that the Apple starts to go down besides the opening print here happens right there. What was that, Tesla?
Did you see that? We just spiked to 11.50 on Robinhood there. Sorry, guys. I'm on. Oh, goodness.
Oh, Robinhood spiked. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I'm on the Affirm chart. Again, it's just from flipping there. Like, it just spiked to 50s. It stopped me and then it did a reversal right there. And the 50s level we like.
I
so
would
I'm
have
in at 37. So I just went, this is the level we really like. So I got a few more shares here. I just want to make sure I'm taking some profit because I want to be down to half if it gets back down to 11.
Yeah, that's crazy. I would have loved to have been sitting there to get that short. We take a short at 29 there to see what happens with this trade. But right now, Robinhood, yeah, crazy spike up there. Good thing. This is what I'm talking about. Ding, 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 ding. Getting some out there. Now we'll hold. Crazy spike there to 11.50. So we're waiting a little bit higher than that, but that was a key area there. So I don't know if there was a report that just came out on Robinhood or what, but that was a big market buy there. Probably Aunt Kathy.
I just saw it was a liquidity vacuum that just opened up on it. Like the spread just went nuts. For a couple of seconds, I was like thinking about where the halt would be, and then I remembered it's got to move. Like it actually had to move like a full $1 and change, being a $10 stock. So it wasn't really close. But that's the first thing that ran through my mind was that's what a stock looks like before it's about to halt. Caterpillar, by the way, I got to get some offers out. I didn't say targets. I'm going to start taking it out in front of 203.50 up to 204. Ultimate target 206 on Cat.
Yeah, it looks like the market really wants to go right now. So a nice break there. We have $1.50. We talked about that in Microsoft. Ford is starting to come back a little bit. We did get out of the majority of them on that dump through 19. We did not reload. That could have been a good reload spot in case this market does go back to the upside. So I think we should probably take some Ford here on the upside if we can on this move. So if it does come back into this VWAP spot, let's make sure we got some Ford on because I think that's going to be a trade that we're going to regret not taking on this one, as it looks like it's coming back in here for Ford.
And so, yeah, just got first target. I haven't hit any keys. First target on Caterpillar there. I did just get out of, not all of Robinhood, but I actually I went to a third. Instead of half, I went to a third of the position off the 50 level at 37. So if it breaks 11, that's how much I'll have on. My next offer is going to be in front of VWAP on Caterpillar. If we can follow through, great. Then I want to make sure I'm holding some for that 06. But this market has shown a lot of resistance to be able to do that. So I don't want to be too greedy when catching anything off these bottoms. Oh, sorry, Miss V.
Hey guys, what a busy morning. I hope you found some profitable opportunities for yourself and remind you to like this video. Team, 7,000 people are with us right now and we need just 400 more likes to get to 2,000 and to have 3,000 likes by the end of the morning show would be so great. So please make sure you go long on the like button and back to you guys.
Good deal.
Oh, man. So that was a good reload there on Hood. So we get that reload. We are reloaded, as me and Neil just talking about. I just wish I would have had an offer. I wasn't expecting that, or else I would have had an offer sitting up here. But we're lucky enough that it was brought to our attention and we were able to get a 25 there and then take a bid out at 08. Now let's see if it wants to fly even lower here. That's going to be Robinhood. I don't know. I still think that whoever bought that, I bet you this is Aunt Kathy right there, came in and bought 1.3 million. Why not? That makes sense to me. She came in and bought 1 million shares there. That's probably what that was there. So anyways, I don't know if that's what it is, but I'm just going to guess. So right now, Robinhood, I think it comes back to the downside. Liquidity vacuum there, spiked it up, a market order. So yeah, I'm very, very confident this thing's coming back down.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's not about shorting the stinkers, but I think that's the way to go here. I just got a reload on Affirm, so I'm going to add back into this one. And I didn't mention AMD here. I said I would tighten up the stop with the chip name at the bottom. So with the breakdown at 100, it gets you to 99.50. That's as far as it wants to go. I tried, it consolidated, the breakout happened. I went long cat because it was at the level I liked, but I stopped out of AMD. It might make a move up to 101 here, but if I had to pick, it's a pick and choose. I just reloaded on Robinhood, and I wanted to reload on a firm. Holding on to AMD didn't make sense. I was trying to pick my spots, and I feel those two are weaker names, obviously. Well, I shouldn't say that. Those two are probably going to have a lot less value buyers in them than AMD.
We're very, very close to getting knocked out here on AMD. We did talk about, we weren't even focused on AMD here. As it does, I didn't even realize I got that fill, and that was 3 minutes ago, where we're watching Hood there. Okay, so AMD, we do have this fill. This is what we like. We talked about taking this against us on that 50 period. It was weak. It goes right up to VWAP. So maybe using this 50 period, there's a nice out. Using this 50 period might be a mistake because we could have got a better short up here at 100. So, at 101. But here it comes right back to the downside. Let's see, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what that liquidity vacuum was, but I do know that it's bang city right now because there goes AMD right back down to the downside. So cash rules everything around us, guys. Get that money.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah, there it is,
and
right there.
A firm back below 52.50. Robinhood it tried to break 11 even, so that is once again coming down. And I went over to it, but there's too much happening. I'm trying to focus on the 3 stocks and not go over that number too much here. But GameStop, by the way, and both GameStop and AMC got crushed off of the open in these curls. You got to pick your spots, right? Like Lucid did too. But it just tried to get back above, like it just got to 91 and then just flush. So the bid dropping out on some of these names. I haven't really looked too deep at AMC, but that was the biggest bounce. And this move here, that's not somebody market selling. Like the bid just evaporated. The second it looked like it was going to curl, there was just no bid from 91 to 90.50. So even getting short there, it's like good luck. Because the bid just died. And even NVIDIA just turned, like I said, a firm was just making moves back into the upside. It got to 53s, and then its bid evaporated into VWAP. So I'm going to go, I already got one leg out there, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back into the bid below VWAP. I kind of want to be short some of these as long as I can. As long as we're below 14,000 or not breaking back out and holding negative, I feel like you go with the clunkers, and then that'll be okay. That also means if we're coming back to the downside, I got first target on Caterpillar, but the market ticked back lower, and look how quickly it retraces immediately to the low of the day. Like a slight tick down in the futures, and some of these names just go, the bid drops, and you go right back to the support. So you have to be waiting only for these key price areas, it feels like. This is 201s here, 201 to 202, not buying anything up at 03. It's in front of the low of the day or bust.
Guys, we're $4 in the money right now on Microsoft. So, we talked about it. We talked about getting very, very patient off this. We talked about that 294.50 area. We talked about it all day. There's the bid right there. And here we go, softy. Here we go, right back up to the upside. So, it's what a great move. This is $3 right now, $4, $3.80 now in the money on Microsoft on that trade. So, yeah, it keeps on ripping up, man. No idea. Like I said, and whoever said that comment to me really stuck with it. It was now all of a sudden, we're picking levels and we're learning to hold on to this. So, I'm really happy with the performance so far here today. And we actually, we'll find out what our ultimate fate's going to be on AMD. Looks like it's going to take out 101, which is completely fine by me, man. The amount of money that we're making on Microsoft as this market rips up, now $4, like I said, in the money on that one. Guys, we could take a 40-cent hit, which it will be, 60-cent hit here, which it will be on AMD. But the thing is whoopsies, on the 1 minute chart, we already took some out here, 30s and then 20s. So if it does take out this 101, it's not as big of a hit as it would have been if we would have held the whole thing. It does come crashing down there. I don't think it went below 100, but if it did do that, that's my bad because we should have been sitting here at 100 when we had this fill. So here it goes right back to the upside. We are going to get stopped out of this trade. So AMD looks like the last leg of this will be incorrect. I hope some of you are still long this name. I put my bed, made my bed with Microsoft, but it looks like AMD going to lead the way here. Not lead the way, but start. There it goes back up to the upside. That's fine. So there it is. We'll get fried up there on AMD, but we will not get fried up at all as we have a $5 winner now on Softy, and that's $4.50 now on Softy as that goes right back to where we were in the morning. Probably a decent spot I can get out now.
Yeah, another capitulation candle, going to get some more shares out when it makes that move on Robinhood down to 1090, so that's the next leg out. It's crazy, like this price action, right? So this is the $11 level. This is the $11.50 on an absolute dime. Like, I'm reloading at 11 and literally 2 seconds after I'm getting out at 11.50, I'm able to get, like, I'm chasing it down for my max, well, the amount of shares I paid for the shorts, right here and getting 37s. This stock, every single time it drops, now this is more like 50 cents, it just starts to find a bit of a bid. So you get vacuum and then buyers jump into it, and then you get vacuum in the other direction and then buyers jump into it. So, like, that's what's happening, and you have to play the snaps almost. Like, wait for it to move and then jump in, and then, you know, take that rebound trade or rubber band trade or whatever you like. I like the rubber band call. I think it's very descriptive of what's happening in the stock, but it is a general uptrend. So until that breaks, you know, I think we're still going against the grain here on Robinhood, but it's starting to make a little bit more sense. If 11.50 goes, I think $12 is the next level up. Come on, Caterpillar, get some love. We're about to crack 14 on the NASDAQ, and the ES is already solidly above 43 and about to go green on the day. I think if that happens, we're going to be holding on to CAT. Again, it's off that low of the day, so if it breaks, I do want to be getting out of that trade.
Guys, patience pays, man. I mean, I'm just really just sitting here chilling out. It's 10:20 and we're already loving everything. Look at this down here on Microsoft, right here, right? Be patient and wait for your levels. We talked about 294.50. We're still in this name. This is now 450 now in the money, and we'll tweet this out for everybody. But stay patient with it. We're going to get out if it breaks back down below 299. But right now, I mean, it's just rocking and rolling to the upside as we just continue to cash out of everything here. It's been a big day for me. I'm up more today than I was yesterday already, so that's good. Happy with that. All you can sort of do is build, man. Build on the strategies that you have, and it's been a good run for me. So really happy with the way this is turning out. I'm still willing to hold this all the way back through 299. This is what I do, though. So if you guys are already saying, hey, Sean is crazy for not taking a $5 winner, well, I mean, you know, this is a level here, back up to 300. Could be something that you're looking at, man. I mean, how much greed there. Woo! You're right, Robbie. Let's bring the heat on this one, baby. And it's the Bruno banger coming through again. We will not talk about Bruno, but when you have a big win like this, man, you got to do something. Let's change our thing to $299.50. There it is, man. Microsoft, $5 now in the money, man. Mr. Softy, my favorite stock to trade. And today it's a cash cow. Microsoft keeps on going, guys.
And the one level that we liked, we liked two levels only on Tesla, and they were 840 and 885. I'm like, we're not going to see the 885 level is what I was sort of talking about there. And who knows? I could be wrong about that. But 8040 just came. I took short in front of it the first time. It does a failed break, which you know what that means. It means I'm going to jump in the same trade again. I grabbed back into the trade here, and I got 839. And then we'll see if it either takes out the high, gives the first 5, and then we'll get a retracement maybe back to about 830 or so. But you know, sometimes you got to have the levels in there, and take it the first time through is what I learned after yesterday. Like, there were so many times where if you tried it the second time on a level like this, it was just blowing right through that level. We'll see what happens here on Tesla. That was the only level I liked. I haven't gotten a second fill on Caterpillar, so I am kind of worried about the fact that the market is bouncing without Cat wanting to go. That's a bit of a disappointment as we go to Brendan at 10:20 for small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, not a lot to do with small caps today, but I'll show you the two main ones that we were looking at in the pre-market. IMPP3, I think it's 3.6 million share float on this, so I was not going to be shorting this, and thank God I did not. 250 level over here, top end of the range. I was talking about 2 if you joined us in the pre-market as support. That ends up holding nicely at the open as well. I took my trade into that 250 level, which was the top end of the range on the daily chart. I hope somebody held, as I mentioned, because that gets all the way to 350. It's on its way back down. Trade is probably over at this point for that one. INDO tried to do the same thing. One of the reasons I didn't hold was because I was focusing on this one. Got back above 7 on the daily chart if you look at it at a big level. I took it. I mean, this went all the way to 790, 780, 790. I didn't take it because I wanted more. Comes back, takes out 7. I got out. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with INDO, but those are the two today. Pretty quiet in small cap world, guys. The
crazy action there in Tesla. We get the first fill for the scalp out at 636. On the reload, we reverse when it takes out the high of the day, get the first scalp out there at 42s, and now it's right back sort of below that 39 level. I like this. I'll give it back to where we bounced to, right? Like, I'm going to hold on to some. We have scalped a bit out. But if we look at that bounce back at 36, if it can hold that price area, then I think it's got the reversal going. But of course, as I say, it looks like it's still a little bit bearish. It's trying to bounce back and forth here, so don't want to get jiggled out. If this is the top end of the range, like I was showing you guys, I think 885 is going to be your next level up. But yeah, it can't seem to hold it. I want so badly for this to make the top end of the range here, holding 43s and holding 14,000, but it looks like Tesla's going to give it up. Should have stayed bearish on it like I was all morning, but it is what it is. We did the short initially. We reversed into the long when it held that bit above 840, and now we're going to have to jam out the last of that Tesla trade. So the short worked, but the reversal to the long, we're going to give it right back.
All right, so there we go. So we were out in and out there of Microsoft. We did over short that name there, so that's why we have that one tick. But there it is, a nice little $4.50 win here. Bang it out for Tesla, or for your Tesla, for Microsoft right there, a nice win. But now it's coming back to the downside. We probably should not have got out there. Okay, Robinhood is getting close to just getting out now. It does take that out there at 11.50, so our stop's now going to be 11.60. We took an average price. This has been like big time to the upside. Robinhood's going to go green today. That's unbelievable for me. But hey, that's why you cash out. And I was talking about holding it. Neil was talking about scalping it. It looks like the scalp was going to be the right play on that one because we did that. We got back into 11.30 and we took 30 cents. I mean, 30 cents on $11, I guess, is a scalp. So we take that and thank God we got out there. And now we reloaded. But you can see my average price now 29. So it looks like we'll take that same 30 cents. Like that's a 30-cent win there, right? At the bottom, and this is going to be a 30-cent hit if it does go back above 11.60. So that's the hood trigger right there. I can't believe we dumped that Microsoft as we went short there, but it was an overfill. But I mean, that short may now print to the downside, which makes me think, what about AMD? Because it made that move up to this level here, and now we'll see. There goes Robinhood upside, so we're out of that. Let's wait to see now what happens here on AMD. Does it retrace back to VWAP and these 50 periods? If it does that, then so does the NASDAQ. I think that's a decent reload spot at 150 cents.
Yeah, I mean, I just took a little bit of shares there on that break on Robinhood. To me, going positive actually is a big level at that 1161. So I want to see if it's going to be a bit of a failed break there. I just got another reload on a firm. It hasn't really got to that 54 level, but it's getting pretty close. And again, like, you're just going to try and go back to the same thing. Like, I stopped out here and immediately was like, I got to get back into this trade. And it reversed all the way to 1090. So this time, I'm going to say, okay, be patient with it. Allow it to hopefully be a bit of a failed breakout. And if that's the case, and I'm yapping too much, if that's the case, try to get back in on that consolidation and see if it puts the same move in. And that would take, if you draw a trend, it's probably about to 1125 or so. So if I can get some shares that are between 50 and 60, then that makes some sense for the short. But as I'm sitting here, and you can see my offer sitting there, I'm remembering it's short sell restricted, right? So you actually need an uptick. Right. Unless you get an uptick, that's why you have to get in on the way up, because unless you get an uptick, it's pretty tricky catching that fill. And that's why I'm not really getting any fills.
Yeah, that makes sense on that one. We're just still, I'm still all eyes looking everywhere, but we're still trying to find something. I was over there looking at, I just got short there on a 50 break and it didn't even break 50. So, okay, Facebook right now, was a name that I wanted to look at, but you could see it's going to be a no-fly zone for me. I mean, look at all the other ones. Microsoft today, Apple's kind of just keeps going up. I mean, that's what Apple's doing apparently, which is fantastic, by the way. But Facebook right now just kind of barcoding. Was debating that if this market runs, which it may be getting ready to do here, because it's not heading back to the downside right now. But we can watch out for that. So Facebook right now just kind of barcoding and not doing much. This might be a name that you could put on your radar just to see what happens, because if it does start to go, maybe, but you know what, now that I look at that, that's going to be a moot point. Forget about it. If it's not moving now, it's already, I didn't even realize it's already 10:30, so that's not going to be a play. Nvidia tried to get going there just like AMD did, which is nice. It did. You're only down now that 1%, which is fine, but the market's positive, so that's a little bit of a concern. Again, you take out this 217 off that pop there yesterday or today in the pre-market, that could be something at 218, give it back to 216. So I think this is probably worth it right now. I'm going to go long on Nvidia here and see if this market wants to keep going back to the upside, because we have a 216 out we can play off of.
And there's an iceberg at 1150 on Robinhood, so that's going to make me want to go back to like the. I'm going to go to a lower high for throwing a stop. I don't want it to take out the high, and that iceberg's still there, and I have a price at the lower end of the range, so I'm going to tighten my stop. Allow that iceberg, if it holds a level, to give me a shot at shorting off the high of the day if I'm going to jump back into it. AMC, I talked about GameStop, but AMC, it's starting to do its own barcode, but look at $14. That's what I have my eyeballs on. Pre-market lows, double top here at 14 even. In the event that we hold a higher low, just on a pure momentum play, like a 14 break upside would make some sense to me there. But again, that's just on a pure momentum play. And someone was asking about it in the chat there. It's the same chart as everything else, basically. But you have a consolidation off of these bottoms. This is lower than the Monday capitulation. If it were to get back above that price, there could be some momentum, giving you a nice juicy opportunity there. And Caterpillar, like I said, I was a little bit concerned that this one didn't really do much in the last tick to the upside. I was able to, I'm going to use the 15 here, just sort of demonstrate. Like it's been hanging out the bottoms. I was able to get some out when it got up to 03s, but the last bounce, it did almost nothing. Ignore that wick. God, these dark pool wicks. There you go. You cannot get past this 203 level and was retesting the low. So there's something a little bit, I guess, weak about this name. You got to be everything the market wants when it comes to earnings. You can't even have like a little bit of a disappointment. That's what's happening. You're getting punished unless you're super cheap valuation, which Caterpillar, it's not really exactly that.
No, Caterpillar. Yeah, I mean, even some value plays.
It's over 20 PE for industrial.
CFVI, some people are talking about. So let's go over and look at CFVI quickly here. As we will take another bid here. We just got filled on Ford, so we'll take another bid there if that does come out. CFVI 11 and change, 330,000 shares. I was going to say dollars shares on this one. Not really moving. So we can check out CFVI. We know this is going to be Rumble. And again, believe it or not, like this has been a pretty safe spot to just kind of like park your money in. I mean, the worst that this thing's been, we talked about like NEO going from 30 all the way down to 20, and CFVI, Rumble, kind of just holding steady. So maybe there is something on this for Rumble. There's Robinhood starting to crank lower, man. We got this trade on. So a good trade here for Robinhood as we make everything back on this name. What's up, Brendan?
NYSource, another one moving here, actually taking out highs on the daily chart. Nice looking chart here, 2.2%. They had some executive changes they announced aftermarket yesterday, so big pop for them. Not a lot of volume, but a decent chart for NI. It is 10:30. Let's get a quick check on how things are shaping up over in Europe. Miss V has that. Miss V, what's up?
Hey Brendan, European markets are negative. Auto stocks are among worst performers, while luxury goods maker LVMH trading in Paris is up more than 1% after it said that fourth quarter sales growth accelerated. Back to you.
Yeah, back and forth we go here in North America as well. Back to basically flat once again, guys, on the S&P.
Yeah, so the last push down, like the iceberg at 1150, by the way, that actually broke immediately on Robinhood, that is. It immediately went down to 35, so it took the first 15-cent move there to be able to get some profit. Like I said, I tightened the stop. It doesn't come into play, but Caterpillar did just break the low of the day. So I got out of it on the low break, and the reason I want to do that is because if it retests 200, that was going to be the next entry point. It goes to like 266. Which is not quite exactly what I was looking for. I want to make sure it's in front of that 200 level only. But a 200 break on the daily chart in Caterpillar takes you down. Not a lot of support is all I got to say. I think it was down into the mid 90s.
Yeah, I'm glad we cashed out some of Robinhood as right now back. It's just like bouncing around doing nothing. Microsoft, good out on Microsoft, man. $299.50 is the out, guys. Thank you so much again for all the love today on the sticky note. One more time, I know it's a pain in the ass for me to always ask you guys to try to retweet this, but some good notes on here for Hood, some Microsoft notes, some 100 notes here for AMD, WDC. We like that short. And we actually didn't even look at Square yet today. So let's go over and have a quick look at Square. As now Robinhood is way up. So we short one more time. Again, giving it back to like, I don't even want to give it back to 12, but there is some Robinhood pressure here. So 1180, maybe 1190 for a break on Robinhood. Like, yeah, it's way back in right now. So I don't know. I guess we got to take these out. Every single time it comes back to the downside, we're going to take out some Robinhood. But this is already getting a little bit too expensive because you keep on trading like this and eventually it's going to do what it's doing right now. Take out some of these tops. So I just put in in 1190. So let's see if it does take that out. But here we go, Robinhood. Here we go. We're long at, sorry, wish we were long. We're short at 1156 here. All we've been doing is shorting, and as you can see, we've been getting out. I mean, the only trade that hurt us was the last time it did this move, and we wound up getting out. But that was fine because we got out at 65, and then we reloaded at 50, but we didn't cash out of everything at 1130. So that was a mistake there on that cash. But
I never cash out. I keep holding some. It's ridiculous.
No, I'm trying to hold some too. But I mean, at the same time, like I don't know what's more ridiculous, the way we're holding this or the way this is trading. So, it's right back down to where we're flat again. I could get out and just like forget about Robinhood, but at the same time, I don't think we want to do that. So let's see if we can retrace back down here to like the 50 period or, 1120 maybe, even back down to 1130 is fine. We'll put some offers or some bids here. So, hey, Robinhood keeps on making moves to the upside. We got
I have a concern about the market here. One tiny concern about the market, Apple just made a double top. So I know I'm down to like a firm because the firm is below that. As long as the firm doesn't break 54, I think that's the one thing that I can hold the hat on. But double top on Apple here, like I'm looking at this being up to strong name, and this is what it looks like on the 15-minute chart. Oops, let's do this for you guys. This is what it looks like on the 15. These breaks and then the double top. Like if we reverse off this for Apple after those earnings, what does that even mean for today in the overall market? So I'm out of Caterpillar. I'm actually questioning whether I want to be long again in front of that 200 level, but I'm going to be watching this like a hawk. If we can break this, I think it's fantastic for the overall market. But if Apple retraces deeply off of these levels, that's going to be not doom and gloom, but definitely retesting the lows. As I say that, 43 on the SPY, right back there. Sorry, on the S&P 500, we're right back there, and it's because of that double top.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I have the right hood orders out here as we continue to make moves to the downside. So Robinhood, we just took some 53s out there. It was a good reload for us. We are very, very aware that it's been popping on all of these reloads. So we're waiting in the 40s now. Oh, it just resisted 50 again. Let's put another bid there at 50, 51. It just resisted that 50 bid. So we'll put another bid there at 51. So here it comes back down in. Again, we're short only 57 here. So the problem is that we have more shares than we would want. Not anymore. We just took two orders out there, so about 10% out at 53 already. So we still do have some. If it does give me that 51 bid that I just put in there, we'd be happier. Then we have another. There we go. Let's go. There it is. So yes, now we're happy. Booyaka, as we'll go Borat style right now. I don't know if Borat ever wears a Trader TV hat or not, but we'll go here and we'll go to the downside. It's not Borat, Ali G style right now. We'll go to the downside, see if that can work for us. That's that trade. And then right now, I'm kind of just waiting on Ford. I realize that this stock has been beat down. We are negative on Ford today, but I still hold out hope that we go higher here on the magical Ford, because we're down to 19 bucks. I mean, again, like so many levels here, this should hold. This was that horrible day that we had already where Ford touched down and then ripped back up to 2050. Let's see if it does the same thing off some of these levels. I don't mind getting a 1940 offer in here if we're able to. So that's something to get right there. So let's wait to see what happens for Ford. But I'm long on this one against some of those bottoms again. But we already got cracked out once. Ford has not been great for us today.
I just saw someone type in the chat MindMed. I called it up and it's at 99 cents. I have a feeling I'm going to do that thing that it happens at $1. But IMMP, someone mentioned this in the chat, like if I was short it, we don't have locates on I, unless something changed. We were unable to get locates on this name. So I kind of said to myself, once it got past a certain level, like forget about it. Like I obviously love those halts, but there's nothing you can do. Like if I can't go that direction, I'm just not going to be able to trade it. We talked about Square at least a little bit at that $100 level. Looking at it bounce here, it never even tested. It got to 101.60 and had a pretty strong reversal, but a lot of things made double tops, guys. And it is what it is. And it's like 105.50 at the top, and then here, lower high 105. Just saw Apple make about the same type of move there as a bit of a double top. But this 100 on Square also represents, going back to those Monday lows. It's holding the bottom, and that's 102. So I don't know, like maybe I shouldn't be so married to the notion of the even dollar. Square actually holding 102, which is Monday lows. Capitulation bottoms on Monday, holding on Square. Should have paid attention to that.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, Did Square hold 100? No, it's not down there yet.
It's Monday's bottom at 102.
Right, that's why. Yeah, it's on the sticky note. We actually have that level there. So hopefully, we're saying on a flush. Let's see if Square we can get that to 100, and then we'll probably take a worthwhile on a long. Okay, so we do actually wind up spinning the money because we wind up getting that trade on Square on Robinhood down to 46. So we have eased out 30% of the position now, so we are holding that. We still have a decent position. I feel like it's going to rip again at some point, but who knows? Look at the market taking off right now. So let's go, market. Let's go. Microsoft probably near. Ooh, not. I was going to say Microsoft maybe near that 300, but no. This was a wicked trade for me on Microsoft. Buy there, average down there, get a piece out, then get the rest out up there, and now we're starting to rip to the high side. Let's go forward. See if that one can get going now as we're long at 14. We just put a bid down here to see if we get more in case the market does crash, but it looks like it's all sails forward here, all ships up as we go through. Now the market taking out that 50 period, and now we'll see what we do on the high side. I like it. Let's just see if it can work. I'm going to hold on to Ford. If we're lucky enough to get it back into here, man, we'll take some more pieces out in the mid 1920s. We got to take advantage of this move to the upside.
And coming back to a name that we haven't traded yet, but that AMC 14, as the market creeps back to the upside, is trying to get to VWAP. I'm ignoring VWAP here when it comes to if I was shorting it, I guess you'd short in front of VWAP and you have a 14 stop, but it is the 14 level that I am looking at. That was the pre-market low. That was a double top, pull back, higher low, and then see if it makes a bit of a breakout, guys. So there's a lot of names coming up there. NVIDIA just popped big time. And the other one we gave you, which was nearing its highs, was Square. Square just broke out the top. Apple over here, I got back into Caterpillar as it managed to hold that 200 level. It got to the 50s. Apple has yet to break out. If Apple takes out the top as well here and that double top gets broken, this market has to go. Like, it's just, I can't see, I can't see any way that if we're breaking out this top. I just saw Square, NVIDIA at 217. Like, we should be able to get a nice upward day as we go possibly green on the ES when that happens over in Apple. So, watch out. These could break up. I like one of the meme names because of how they made a capitulation bottom. That's why I'm going over to AMC. I could have gone to GME as well, which I guess usually I do trade it. It's a little bit further away from any kind of a level that I think would make sense for the breakout. Like, AMC has that 14 coming. GME, it's kind of sitting here in the middle of nowhere. That's kind of why I went to AMC.
Yeah, good point there. I didn't even look at AMC yet. Wow, okay, yes, sir. Let's go hood. You can take the kid out of the streets, but I don't know how that works. But anyways, here goes Robinhood to the downside now. Yeah, good trade, man. Hallelujah. Good one there. It ripped back up, man. We took another piece out at 53, 54, but there's the tank down. And yeah, we are not going to look that one in the face because there's double bids out there at 40. So we got a 40 and a 41. Actually, my best, 40 and 41 best bids out right there on, I was going to say Affirm on Robinhood. This has been like a wild, where's that roller coaster button, man? Because there it is. Today, I feel like this is what that is right there, big time roller coaster. We got to add Prad to that getting ready to throw to him with only 20 minutes left in our show. Then you'll go to Memes and Movers and Prad will kill this market for you. Congratulations to Prad yesterday. Brought his net all the way back to positive. So shout out to Pradley Pitt there. I just don't want to lose Pradley Pitt to any movie deals. There it goes. Let's go Robinhood. We'll see. We got these diamonds on, hopefully, to the downside. So let's see if we do get a retracement back to 1120. My prediction is it's here when we come back from Brendan. He's over there at the big screen. Let's see what is this one called? Sector Watch? Market Watch? Something like that. We're going to go over to Brendan now. I'm new here. Kill it, Brendan.
Hey guys, quick look at the overall market here. A bit of a mixed story so far today. 0.25% on the S&P to the downside. If we go into the tech sector to start things off, there's Visa, MasterCard now, FIS, and CRM all to the upside. So the software group in positive territory. Apple over here, WDC right beside it, kind of fighting each other. So you can cancel that out. There are a few others that are positive on the day, but otherwise pretty uneventful. Semiconductors all red. so far today, as are the banks to the downside. WRB standing out after earnings, 4.7%. Discovery over here having a day, 4.5%, depending on which shares you are looking at. Everything else, as I said, a bit of a mixed board up here. Industrials red, consumer discretionary red as well. That's Caterpillar, 5%. 3M also reported 5% to the downside. All the airlines are here, all in negative territory. Once again today, a GM down here, 3.5%, leading the automakers to the downside. Ford, 1.5%. I was watching Tesla a bit as well, trying to hold that low from yesterday right now. RCL, NCL, CCLH, so travel names, as I said, pretty negative so far. Now 0.3 for the S&P. Back over to you.
Yeah, just checking back in some other names here. Lucid got off the bottom in an absolute hurry, so it doesn't break that low. We talked about the gap that it had again, but the top end, and I'm not really touching this thing unless it's like 28.5, or was that bottom end, that 24th, I think we were mentioning, and that's simply because the gap was so gigantic yesterday that I don't want to be caught in the middle of it. And the bottom of that gap that got broken was that 28.50 area, and that seems like, that's exactly where we went to, and that's exactly where we consolidated. So either it goes to the top, or it breaks down to like that quarter mark, which is $25 even, and just getting chopped around isn't going to make a heck of a lot of sense to me. Once again, a firm bounces off of 54, and Caterpillar, I keep trying along in front of 200. We got one scalp out. That's still your 15. We got one scalp out for a win until 3s. It then broke the low. I then re-entered in front of 200 this time, so a 200 stop out. It's now lunchtime, so it's entirely possible it could just sit around here for a while. That wouldn't make, well, it's not lunchtime yet, but it's close to lunchtime. So it could sit around here for a while. So I'm prepared that if it holds it, then I might be holding this trade for a while in Caterpillar, but 200 is the level. It's down 5.5% and getting absolutely beaten up. I thought AMC was about to go. Thank you for the 2,000 likes. I thought AMC was about to break, but guess what the market did? It just turned again. So we turned and we're right back below 4,300. Whipsaw action. So I'm going to leave the breakout in as long as it holds a higher low, which is this 1360 area. Then I think it's valid to try and take a break in AMC. But for the short term, it feels like that is no longer imminent.
Rob, find me a beat, man. Find me that beat, Lucas. Because we're celebrating Friday beat time as we continue to beat down in the markets. My favorite animation. No, the beat. The guy, the little weed smoking little gremlin guy there. Because look what happens to Robinhood, man. Right down to the downside right here. 11, we got that fill. I told you that the next target would be down here. We wait a little bit in front of it. We actually get
audio's off, Mike.
No, it's not off. You guys, they had it off. So, okay, so now it's back on. So, okay, Robinhood, we come back here, we get that fill. We talked about when we went back to Brendan that we wanted that fill on Robinhood. It comes down, bang, bang, bang. We get it. So there it is. Let's go Robinhood, back down to the downside right now. This has been a crazy name for us, man. Like, we're going to be positive on this, but it's like, wow, we really, really had to like be very, very specific with our outs and then, make sure not to get, that was our only trade that we lost on right there, was this short at 1140, then we got taken out at 65. So right now, we again, right, that's a 30 cent or 25 cent hit, but to the downside right now, we now have 40 cents in the money, right? We have cashed it out, but we're waiting for that one home run just to take this out. We're bidding 20, and then we'll go down here and we'll cash out of Robinhood. It's been a positive day, man. We're green. We've got our greens going on right now. It's been a good one right there. Green day for us here on the market, but on trading, not on the market, but we're getting close, man. It's almost Miss V Green Day as we're only down 0.1. Please hit the like, and more importantly, hit the subscribe, and even more importantly, tell all your friends about the best trading show on YouTube.
And someone mentioned my men in $1, but it's up 8%, making a big move. But I will note to you guys, looking at the level 2, MNMD, looking at the level 2, there is nothing on the actual offer at 1. The offer is kind of cheeky behind here. Like there's offers at 1, 2, 3, and 5. Like this, you definitely have some size up there, but it's nothing at those lower levels. So I tried it the first time through here, but just note, like I don't think you stop out at 1 even in that case. Like because the offer is sitting at 101, that's where my head is going to be.
Nobody
it's going to be
heard me
above
ask.
that price. What happened?
No, I was gonna say, nobody heard me ask for the beat, so they can't find it. We'll get that beat on. You guys know the beat we're talking about. I actually want it on my board. I'm gonna hit it a hell of a lot more moving forward, so we'll get that fixed out for you. You guys all know what we're talking about. There's a sick beat that we've made, or not that we made, but that we have on the show, and we'll play that for you in the afternoon, hopefully. Okay, Apple still making moves to the upside, man. Hood, I did not get that fill. I thought we got it, but we didn't. We went to 11.25 and stopped, so now we'll learn our lesson, put a bid at 11.25. Hopefully that will come back in. Ford now starting to move here, so we really like what we're seeing in Ford as that's starting to make its move back up to the upside. It does touch again down here near 19. Now it's trying to go. It was just at 18. Let's put an offer at 20 right now. If we get it, great. And then we are waiting. Of course, we talked about that much higher on Ford. I mean, already scattered in the 20s. So you know, there it is. Did we get that 20? Yes, we did. So there it is, man. Ford breaking now through. There it goes, breaking almost.
Well, it's all longs now because
it's all good now. Yeah, the market is pumping right now.
We're solidly above that 14. AMC made the break. A firm stopped me out, and now we're
Let's
long at that
go.
54 level. AMC made the 14 break, so we're going to take some out in front of the quarters and then probably the 50s. The high of the day in AMC, oddly enough, is 1480. I didn't even realize at the open that it got that high, but certainly there's room to run here. We talked about that triple top or double top, I guess it was, on Apple. But obviously it's going to be trying to test it right here, right now. You don't want to see a reversal off this level. Once again, that could turn the market just a little bit. So watch out for Apple at those highs.
Man, what a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching us, man. This has been a very, very good Friday. So far, so good, man. The only net we did lose, which is crazy that we lost on this NVIDIA trade, but we did. We took it a little bit too early. It cranked lower. And again, I wish I had that crystal ball. We'd still be in it. That's a losing trade for us today. Apple, like, you want to talk about a crystal ball? Apple, it actually had a negative move right there back in. But again, like right here, the only time it spends under here and I go long and get out there, that's a dollar hit on Apple. So that is what that is. But you know, this is what I'm talking about. When you're thinking about, okay, you know, you're taking a dollar hit or something like that on a stock. Okay, so you have to have some winners, right? Because you can't just take dollar hits and then not have dollar winners, right? Well, how about $5 winners? So here we go right here on Microsoft. So just as much as we take our lumps on Apple, there's the big $5 banger there for you on Softy. So it's like, it's going to be my number one stock. It doesn't look like Hood will be as Hood goes all the way back up. But look at that last out, man. We got some, well, not last. We're holding, honestly, 8% of this trade we're still in. So, you know, get it all out. We still hold 8%. We took another percent out right there. Another 5% that we had out right there. So now we'll wait to see. It's probably in a reload spot right now. We could probably do that there for you on Robinhood. But that's what I mean. It's been a good day. And you have to have your plans. Just like WDC, man. Look at that. You want to blow out off on the open? We're sitting there. We had a plan to go short. So when this happens, there's our initial short. We get that real early. Then we got it there, right? Look at all of our outs, right? They're all in here. It's off of these two trades. We never take a big position early. So there it is. Bang that out. WDC, a very positive stock. Multiple dollars again. So let's be very, very patient. I like a reload here on Hood.
And you just got another fill here on AMC at 14.15, 14.25, 14.35, basically sitting every 10 cents or so as that continues to churn. And then watch out for this market. It looks like 10 minutes to go here, and we're going to go. I mean, I think we're going to go. I don't want to jinx it, but we're going to try to retest. This is now the third time. Apple pulled back, but held another higher low. It's actually holding, consolidating at that triple top. So this is what this is, I think, the barometer. I keep saying it over and over again. This is going to be the barometer. I would watch out for your chip names as well. This is NVIDIA screaming. It just got green. So it's starting to get parabolic. If Apple turns here, if the market turns off of this level, you could see a lot of these names like slide right back in. I think the same thing would happen to AMC. So, you know, just be very, very careful at these tops. Clearly, we're going to have a crazy midday show, or market movers, I should say, with Trader Pratt. But we still have plenty to go here. And just going back over to the name that I liked at 28.50, Lucid up to that 28 level. This gets to that 28.50 on the daily chart. That's what I've been waiting for. You could have taken it off the open, but it's now getting up towards that same price, the top end of that range. That's worth it for a short on Lucid.
And the self-proclaimed people's trader has once again done it for you. Ford all the way back up to the upside. We've just been piecing it out. We're light now on Ford. So, hey, let's just get this out like we've just been doing there. 30s. We just got that's a 28. That's a 30. We told you we were trying to get some out here as we rip back up. Unfortunately, we should have reloaded on that first break, but we don't. And we were just waiting for a little bit lower. Again, the market really rocking and rolling right now. I actually forgot to load back up here on Hood. I still have a stop order, so let's cancel that stop order and see what we do at 12, right? I mean, Robinhood, it looks like it just wants to keep on going to the upside, so I don't know, man. There it is. We found it. Robbie found it. We need to get that beat going a little bit longer there next time. But there it is, man. This is the kind of mood that we're in. We're in one today. We're on one. We're super happy with this trading today. And I'm super happy to short Hood again. So let's do that right now against that. Oops, I just typed in the NASDAQ. Against 90, I think we could probably do it here. What's that high? 93. We already just retraced all the way back down. That would have been good. Let's sit here in the mid 80s. If we get it on the way back up, we'll take it. Other than that, we'll just hold what we have right now. We missed that. I don't want to take it now. Well, I could take it now. It's just dropped there. So we'll see what, here it comes. One more pump. There it is. So now we're short 86 against 12, guys. 12 is the last frontier here for me on Robinhood. If it takes it out, then we're gone, and we'll talk to this on Monday.
Yeah, and the new ones, obviously, we got Lucid there on that little bit of a curl. You can kind of see it, like it makes that parabolic move into the open range and makes the curl. So I just jumped into the short. And then remember I told you about MindMed. I'm short. I got 99 and change. It doesn't really count the decimals there. But there's no offer at 101, 102 is where the actual size is. So I might actually take more shares at $1 and allow it to break that 2 or 3 area. Give it a few cents, but you're not giving it back to 110. I think that's crazy. And guess what happened on that? I thought we were almost inevitably breaking the top on Apple, up 4%. Great day, great quarter, great earnings, but a bit of a turnaround here off of that top, which could pull the markets back in. The second that happened, I took a few more shares off of AMC at that 14.20 mark. That's still going a little bit, by the way, up to the quarters. Time for Money Talks with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, pretty quiet day on equity front, pretty quiet day on the currency markets as well. Not a lot happening. You can see US dollar basically flat on the session. Everything else either slightly up or slightly down based off of that. Cryptocurrencies in positive territory, still trying to hold. That's a daily chart of Bitcoin over there. So still trying to hold some of these levels from a few months back. Come back this afternoon though. Ethereum 3.7, 1.3 for Ripple. Come back this afternoon, as I was saying. CEO of Liquid Meta going to be back on the show this afternoon. We'll get his take on this whole pullback for crypto markets. What do you think should happen next? What could happen next? And some pretty exciting projects that are taking place on some other platforms as well in the NFT space, guys. So that'll be about 2:50 or so this afternoon. Come join us.
Yeah, that should absolutely be a good one. We had a lot of, I think we learned a lot last time we had him on there. And it's, look, we talked about some of those meme names. And again, it's weird because I literally said the other day, I forget who I was talking to yesterday, but I was saying I always trade GameStop and not AMC. And it would have worked. Like I was saying AMC had a more clear level for a breakout. Well, guess what? If you just taken the break wherever GameStop was, it actually makes a 90 break as well and gets above VWAP and heads up to that 93. I mean, pick your poison. You sort of keep in mind that, you know, moving a couple of dollars is the same thing as moving 30 or 40 cents when you factor in the price, but both starting to go to the upside here. Both very close to positive, and the next leg out I think is going to be at that mark, 1450 for AMC. GameStop turns green at about 93.50, so about to happen at exactly the same time. MindMed short's a bit of a different story because it doesn't care, and Apple is now pennies away from breaking out of those highs.
All right. Yeah, look what just happened with Ford. So if we can get that beat, let's roll that if you have it. There it is. See? What is that, a gremlin? Who knows what that is right there, but it's a gremlin there as we hit the beats going through today. Good trade there for Ford. Thank you, Lucas, on that one. So, yeah, we're trying to keep the energy, man. No matter, honestly, guys, no matter the kind of day you're having, we're having fun on the show, and I really hope that you guys are as well. And you want to talk about hitting the siren again. Down goes Robinhood. Down goes Fraser. I mean, here we go back down to the downside right now. As your boy is positive here on Robinhood today, let's just get some more out. out. 90s, 73s, 70s, all the way to the downside. We're going to try to hold as we can. I do have a 70. I have a 70 bid. We just took a 73 there, was it? Yeah. So we took 73s, 77s, and 80s off of this last short here, 87. 86. I'm short. So here we come back to the downside. We do have another bid at 70, like we just said. So if it does crack lower, ultimately my targets are always going to be right here because we've bounced off of it. We've bounced off here. We bounced off here. There, we basically bounced off of it as well. This is a 50-period moving average, but still VWAP, I think, can come into play down here to 11. So did we just get that 70 bid? No, we did not. Hopefully we crash one more time and we'll get that bid. Ford is on one right now. We've talked about that. That's been a great trade for us today. And we just get out one of the last pieces there of Ford up near 40. And again, like I said, we're doing this, man. We're being a sniper, man. We're the hitman right here because we're waiting for key prices and then getting out when we see fit, right? And so that's what you got to do. We've changed up our game a little bit. We're super happy with the performance this week, man. It's a good one. We're going to end the week in the green. I was going to say in the red. The market will, but we will be in the green here. Positions pending for the rest of the day. We're not done trading. 3 minutes until we go to our main man over there, Trader Pratt. We'll see what he's up to. Hopefully he had some of that Tesla love as well.
Sharp pullback there on AMC, by the way, off of 1435. Again, the bid, it goes up a little bit, but when it turns, it just drops. And like a couple of candles, a quick 25-cent drop. I was looking for VWAP there for a little bit of a stink bid in the moment, but it only stopped at 14.15. I only wanted it if I caught the bottom in front of that breakout price, but still in a nice upward trend, and the market's still breaking out. But watch out for these wick candles. That's why taking profit on the way up makes some sense. Miss V, we still have to find out what national day it is.
Hey guys, what an exciting Friday morning. Thank you so much for spending it with us. Thank you also for 2.1 thousand likes. And if you didn't like this video yet, this is the last chance to give Morning Show your support. Join Prad and me right after to continue trading this day, and happy National Pancake Day, everyone.
Isn't Pancake Day?
This is blueberry pancake. Yeah, this is not. I was actually talking about that with the kids yesterday.
Have Pancake Day. It's like a thing at school and everything.
It's Pancake Tuesday.
Yeah, and it's always a Tuesday. It's always a Tuesday.
Yeah, shout out to our friends down there in Nolans. Yeah, Pancake Tuesday. I was talking about that with my kids because I told you the wife yesterday, she made this kick butt chocolate cake thing, and it was absolutely incredible and to die for. And then the kids are like, oh, every day should be kind of like a chocolate chip cake day or whatever. But yeah, here's the end result. You see, this is what she made right here. So you could see it's a reel. How many? I don't even know how many likes this reel has. Maybe I should just like it right there for her. But there it is, chocolate cake day. It's a good one there. I'll put this in the chat. You guys can go check it out. I think it has some good music to it. But there it is. We love the chocolate cake, and there's my wife killing it on the ones and twos right there. You almost saw the TV in the background, but that's it right there. So have a look. I'll put it in the chat. You want to check out some of her reels? I think they're pretty cool. Right there in the chat. So chocolate cake day, what's up to everybody yesterday? Today, blueberry day. So you're a fan of blueberries or you prefer other fruits?
My favorite pancake flavor is actually blueberry.
Okay.
I was about to say, like, I don't love chocolate pancakes. I tend to not eat them. Banana is fantastic.
You just took
it's
mine.
Banana or blueberry.
By the way, guys, look at Ford right now smoking right here to the upside as it just keeps on working, guys. Boom. Like we have 30 cents on Ford.
Apple high day.
There it is. Yeah, Apple the high of the day. We should have that as well. And we did get cashed out there at 70 on Hood. So far, so good. Brendan, pancakes?
Obviously. I'm going to combine the two and go blueberry with chocolate chips.
Blueberry with
Banana with chocolate chips. I don't know if I've ever seen blueberry and chocolate.
Blueberry with chocolate chips.
I've never had that. I don't think I've ever even seen that. But Brendan, I'll try it. Whatever. Like the next time you make pancakes, we have blueberries and we have chocolate chips. I mean, it's not that hard.
You got to have both those things.
You have them in the house, and it's like my daughter knows where the bins are now, so that's a bit of a problem. But
you need locks.
You know how that goes. You got to be able to lock those things away. Otherwise, when they get to that age, and they can take whatever they want. But you guys got to get over to Market Movers with Trader Pratt and Miss V. Crazy move. We just went through the high. No, we didn't. Crap. Almost through the high of the day on Apple, but the market's breaking out. Let's go to the Market Movers. Kill him, Trader Pratt.
Hey, yo, I'm your host, Trader Pratt. This is the beautiful Miss V. Welcome to the last day of the week. Market Movers is here. Hey guys, welcome back everyone. Happy Friday to you. Hope you noticed we a little bit changed our frames. Our heads are bigger now. So as usual, please be active on the chat, ask us anything, and don't forget to like the video you're watching right now. How's your day going, Prad?
Not the greatest,
Yeah.
but struggling as every day, every single day of this